Make the phone call, 205-82.
Ended up committing to Miami. He ends up committing to Miami over Auburn. 4-star quarterback, 6'4", out of the state of Illinois, I believe. Picks Miami over Auburn. USC, by the way, who had 7 top 60 players in 2016, they're doing well in recruiting again. They're 5th behind Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Texas Tech early in the Rivals rankings. Virginia trying to get Chandler Morris back for a 7th year. The ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips signed an affidavit against that. The judge denies it, so it looks like Chandler Morris is done at Virginia. And coming out of Florida State Spring, it looks like Ashton Daniels is their QB1. Does that surprise you that Ashton Daniels, who was the backup at Auburn, took over the starting job last year, has transferred, and he's going to be QB1 going into the year for Florida State?
It just seems like Florida State can't get quarterback right. And look, I probably shit too much on Ashton Daniels last year. I was like, you don't want to see this guy. And first, glance we really saw it against Vanderbilt was the best quarterback game that anybody at Auburn had last year. Probably the best quarterback game that Hugh Freeze had in his small tenure. But yes, it does surprise me. I mean,
of all those quarterbacks in that state, that's the guy that's your quarterback going in with Kevin Sperry backing you up.
And if you're Mike Norvell with your job on the line. So Ashton Daniels has got to be QB1 that will win enough games for you to be able to keep that job.
With a new offensive coordinator with Gus Malzahn now on the selection committee. That gets us to Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Great time, always around Masters Weekend, for us to tell you that it's a great time to, if you choose to do this in life, a vasectomy. You can get it done and then relax on the weekend and enjoy a great round of golf on CBS as you recover there. Urology Centers of Alabama, they've been taking care of men not only through the vasectomies, but testosterone treatment and everything from prostate health to kidney stones for 70 years of compassionate care. 205-930-0920 and locations 10 or more, 10 locations in Central Alabama. Find the one near you. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
I heard the row. I felt that row. I knew to keep it pushing. I knew that. After I see the people, I just see some big just walking, just right over here, right by the bush. It went right over here. I swear, I promise you, it went right over there. And it said row, and I just kept walking. I seen it, seen me, see it. So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. What is the strangest thing you've ever seen coming through a drive-thru?
I guess I can't remember when it happened, Forrester, when one of our live trucks clipped the mast. It happened in town. I don't know which station it was. I think I drove by. I think it was on Valley Avenue just to see the chaos. That would have been back in the 90s.
I don't know about that particular incident. I know a mutual friend of both of ours who did that at a gas station.
At a gas station, all right. Do you ever give that mutual friend of ours a hard time about that?
It's been a while, but I can text him about it today.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean nothing crazy. I've seen cars broke down in drive-through lines.
You ever seen like somebody walk through the drive-through or golf cart?
I think I've done it through the drive-through before. I'm trying to think of which one. It seems like we were on I think it was a high school baseball trip, and I didn't want to eat where the team was eating, and there was another fast food place, and I
tried to walk through it.
I think I walked through the drive-through line.
Well, Chick-fil-A in Florida, unusual visit March 21st when a horse riding customer came trotting down through the drive-through. Creator, of course, Filip Del Mora captured the entire interaction on his glasses from atop the horse. Servers were baffled.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
I've erased it already, Brownie, but if we'd gone to the tiebreaker, I kicked your butt in the
You did.
in the total.
Didn't need it.
135.5. Didn't get to that. We'll talk about the national championship in just a second. We're 16 days away from the NFL draft, the Masters week. I've got Masters food, but I've also got a Major League Baseball concession stand craze that's going on. You can't. Do you want this in the opening segment? Before we get going with this, let's do this. When I was at Yankee Stadium last year when Alabama was in the NCAA Tournament and I was in Newark, Brian Passing and I jumped over to Yankee Stadium for a game. It was the day the Yankees set the record most home runs, 9 home runs in a game.
I remember that. Was that when they were using the torpedo bats that everybody made a big deal about? That story died so quick, didn't it?
So
Within a week.
Yeah, that week.
Everybody's walking around with these buckets of chicken tenders with fries in it. There they are, the chicken tender buckets. And I was like, okay, that looks good. I ended up going with the hot dogs. Mistake. I should have gone with the chicken tenders. Well, they've got a new thing that's out now.
Good Lord.
That's in the same bucket.
I bet that's $40.
I mean, how many tenders is in a bucket, man?
It looks good, doesn't it? I can't remember the price of it, but Passing wasn't hungry. I, of course, is the incredible
ready to
tapeworm, ready to eat. The new sensation that is out now is this right here. This is Michael K. He's getting. It looks like it's going to be a chicken tendy, right?
Right.
Nope. It is caramelized cornflakes, white chocolate coating, and ice cream in the center. And it's $10 for 2 of them.
Oh, that's not a bad deal.
I bet it's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, 10 for 2, $5 a pop for that ain't bad.
Can't keep it on the shelves. It is a viral sensation right now. Super delicious. Light, hits right to the point, just the right amount of crunch. Looks delicious, doesn't it? But it plays off.
I mean,
the
it looks like
tenders.
fried chicken, but yeah.
It does. It's like it's one of those that's maybe when you bite it, you're a little surprised by what you got there.
Yeah.
Selling out. Here it is. Okay. Chicken drumstick covered with candied cornflakes and white chocolate and filled with chocolate-covered pretzel center with it's soft served ice cream on the outside. Stays together well, only $10 for 2 of them. So it's 5 apiece to get a little treat.
Yeah.
I mean, so you get 2 buckets. You get one with the actual chicken and the fries, and then you get that bucket for dessert.
Yeah.
For $50, I mean.
That's a nice little
And you
walkout.
have 2 buckets to take home.
That's right. Now I got all the buckets I need. Do we have any Yankees buckets, baby? We do. Remember when we went to the game?
Stacked up in the garage
That's right.
there. All right, we jump into what we saw last night for the national championship. Big portal loss for Alabama. That's coming up on the show. And we'll project the next 5 years in our crystal ball of the best 10 college basketball, football combos over the next 5 years. We'll give you a 10 of those, double digit of those. That's all coming up on the show today. Clay Travis with us as well. The show today being brought to you by our friend Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. Thank you all so much for playing the Shannara Showdown. So fun. That has become my favorite way of enjoying, I mean, other than winning the bracket challenge this year. I love
Who
that
doesn't love
bracket.
that? Right.
But instead of just doing random bracket challenges, I love the way we do the Shannara Showdown. Thanks for Shannara for doing that. Tell us about the great Alexander Shannara.
Yeah, you're in it every week or every game right there at the Shannara Showdown. We'll get you the winner's information ASAP after last night's game wrapped up. We got to tally everything up. We'll have the winners contacted soon. But 150 lawyers, 500 dedicated team members. That's the team Alexander Shannara has established right here in his hometown of Birmingham. And we're talking about elite trial lawyers. And they've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer for any situation, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney is the place to go. Shannara.com, Shannara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. With Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, Shannara.com.
A guy named Jeff, who's listened to us and watched us every year that we've been together, all the way back to when Brown and I were together. He was the guy that held up the D&B radio sign at College Game Day that made it on the national television.
We exploded after that, too, didn't we?
Yeah, big time. It's so good that we got called up to the majors to be with Lance.
He went to the pen.
That's right. Hey, add or double A for these guys.
That's
Get
right.
them to the big time. So Jeff texted me right before the game. He loves to play on Kalshi. He used our promo code TNR at Kalshi, and he loves to take a position at Kalshi. He says, does UConn have a chance in this game? And I texted him back, if Elliot Cadeau has a bad night, yes. Well, UConn had a chance in the game, but Cadeau did not have a bad game. 19 points, got to the free throw line, and really held it together for Michigan, who struggled offensively.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that a guy that goes 10 of 28 in 2 games with 7 turnovers is your mop.
But he did.
But that's all I could do. Like, thinking when that game, as it was playing out, I had UConn in the under, so I was just hoping, wanted Michigan to win the game, but I was hoping to thread that needle of UConn plus 7.5 or 6.5 to wherever you got it, and Michigan still won the game. But I never really thought Michigan was not going to win the game.
Nope.
As slow as they started. But then I started thinking, like, who is going to be the most outstanding player? Because Mara didn't have a good game. Yax didn't have a good game, and he didn't have a good game because of only playing 14 minutes in the semifinals.
He had a poor Final Four, basically.
I mean, they had a really – I mean, I didn't know what they were going to do. And I guess Cadeau, just based on last night, the 19 points, nobody was outstanding for Michigan, but they still – never struggled in Indianapolis.
I think it just shows you, and not that you needed any more evidence of how good this team is, but it shows you how great this team is, that Yaxel Lindenberg, who's one of the best players in America. I mean, you could have made an argument him instead of Boozer for the player of the year.
First team All-American, Big Ten player of the year.
Has a bad Final Four, and they cruise to a championship. I mean, cruise might be an overstatement last night. I mean, it was not an overstatement in the semifinals.
Now, be careful when you say bad, though. I mean, the guy's playing through early fouls, playing through the pain of an ankle and a knee, and he scored 9 points down the stretch, and a couple of those were big buckets when the game was in. Yeah,
I'm not taking a shot at it.
No, but
I'm just saying
he played about 60% of the way he played in the regular season.
Oh, yeah.
It's no shot at Yax. I mean, it was the fouls and the injury. It's just the truth is you didn't get the numbers out of him you normally get.
Well, that's what's crazy is Cadeau, 5 of 17 against Arizona, had the 6 turnovers. Yax only played 14 minutes. They still were up 30 in that game. They win that game easily. And then last night they couldn't throw it in the ocean. They shoot 38%, which is so un-Michigan-like. And they were 2 of 15 behind the arc, and they hit those 2 late. Yeah. I mean, they could not. They didn't make a shot behind the arc in the first 20 minutes. So, like, they struggled in both of these games in certain degrees, but they still won relatively easy.
Yeah, UConn kept it interesting, but I'm like you. I never thought they were going to lose. Before we hear the sound, Forrester sent me the most popular tweet last night on social media: 1 in 50 all time. If you score under 70 in the NCAA tournament or in the Final Four, under 70, under 40% shooting from the floor, 15% or under from 3 when you shoot more than 15 plus, and you get out-rebounded. That one was Michigan last night. You throw those stats up, LT. Throw those stats up there, and you say you don't score 70, you shoot under 40% from the field, you shoot 15% from 3, and you get out-rebounded. Danny Hurley's hoisting another trophy, right?
Because we talked about Danny Hurley. What he wanted to do was dictate tempo, and they did dictate tempo. And, they did, even more importantly, they won the battle of the boards. They had 22 offensive boards last night. I mean, that's what really kept them in this game. The fact that Michigan couldn't hit a perimeter shot and that they out-rebounded Michigan. If Michigan would have been typical Michigan on the boards and would have hit 2 or 3 threes more, then – again, I think the conversation is more about, is this the greatest team in college basketball history just based on the run they went on in the NCAA tournament?
Here is Elliot Cadeau and Yaxel Lindenberg. Cadeau with 19 points. Yaxel, second half, he had 9 of his 13 points came in the second half. Here are the 2 stars that helped Michigan raise their first banner since 1989.
All year we've been just finding ways to win, and, we made 2 threes the whole game. We wasn't making shots. We weren't. We had a couple assists, not as many as we usually do, but we constantly just been finding ways to win all year, no matter how everybody's playing.
Early on in the season, we went through our struggles offensively, trying to find our rhythm. What stuck out and what really brought us together was how, unselfish we were eventually in those moments, and our defensive toughness, and whenever our offense isn't rolling, we find a way to make plays with our defense and make it lead to quick offense.
So for Michigan, they win the national championship, and there is the instant comparison now. Instant. Dusty May just did what Curt Cignetti did at Indiana. That seems to be a takeaway point. Ari Wasserman and others are saying that both of them took over programs and they've won the national championship in their second year. Both of them took over programs that had a 250 winning percentage the year before they took over. 750 days in Dusty May has Michigan atop college basketball. Bigger build, obviously, for Curt Cignetti. But both of these guys have done a wonderful job of using the portal and bringing some people along with them to make this work.
It feels way different, though. Indiana was historically a horrific college football program. Michigan is probably all-time top 15 program?
For sure, yeah.
Top 15 program all time, maybe knocking on the door of the top 10.
They just hadn't had success once they've gotten to this game.
Yeah.
Like, they've had nice tournament runs. It's just amazing. They've only got one national championship, but this is not even close.
I don't want to get into the weeds, but you're telling me you think Michigan is a top 15 college basketball program?
Of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
I think it's close.
I mean, they got 2 national championships.
But he said knocking on 10. Now you're saying it's close to 15.
I would say it's in 15.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think they are in all-time wins?
Well, I don't want to get into it, but it's...
Well, you brought it up.
No, you brought it up. I was just... I mean, you start going through college basketball.
But I think there's only one SEC team that would be in front of them, and that's Kentucky.
Yeah,
I mean, national championships, Florida's got it, but Michigan would be in front of the entire SEC. I would think it's top 15.
Other than Kentucky and North Carolina and Duke easily. Syracuse...
Syracuse got one national championship.
Syracuse and Michigan are going to be a lot alike until last night when Michigan won one.
But back to it as you look this up.
No, that's okay. Michigan does not have as many all-time wins as I thought. So I will certainly back off on knocking on the top 10. Anyway, they feel different. You can't tell me historically Michigan basketball is viewed the same way historically Indiana football.
Oh, no, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
And that's the only designation, that's the only line I would draw.
So, the only thing I could think of, Todd Golden, year 2, national championship. Dusty May, year 2, national championship. I was thinking about poor Stephen Pearl.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of pressure on Stephen, obviously. It's not about getting to the NCAA tournament, and I kind of alluded to this yesterday. It's about making noise once you get there, because what would the excuse be? Okay, and I understand that Michigan's in a little bit different spot than Auburn basketball, but it's been close over the last few years, right? Florida, the same thing.
Yeah, I mean it's.
So if I'm an Auburn fan, I'm like, well, if Todd Golden and Dusty May can do it in year 2, why can't Stephen Pearl do it in year 2?
Well, then you would say, well, if Dusty May can do it in year 2, Curt Cignetti can do it in year 2, surely Nate Oates can do it in year 8.
Oh yeah,
surely John Calipari can do it in year 3 in Arkansas.
Hey, Oates getting paid like that. Yeah. So is Calipari. Yeah, I mean, look, they all can't do it, but I'm just saying.
Well, that's my point, though. You can say year 2. Well, you got one guy year 8. You got Calipari in year 3 at his next job, and he only did one at Kentucky.
That is true.
No, it's tough to do. And I'm not saying Stephen to win a national championship. I'm saying make noise in the NCAA tournament. If Auburn just gets to the tournament next year and they're one and done, that's a very disappointing year.
Your point, I think, is these guys doing it early only make it more difficult on the early coaches.
Because we initially, or over the last 20, 25 years, we've seen a lot of college football coaches, not a lot, a good handful, do it in college football, winning in year 2. That put pressure on a lot of guys moving forward. Now you're seeing it in college basketball.
Yeah. Well, it takes two things, right? It takes investment and it takes coaching, the evaluation to me. I mean, the ability to bring in the right pieces. We talked yesterday. It's a $10 million roster or plus, whatever that number ended up being, but it's over $10 million for Michigan. But a lot of these were cast-offs from UCLA and North Carolina, and you got a guy from UAB.
Yeah, certainly not a cast-off.
He's not a cast-off. He was a star at UAB, and he'll be a star in the NBA. But he was 2 years at UAB after junior college. So these weren't the McDonald's All-Americans that Dusty May saw and pieced them together really well. So I think that's where the comparison is for me, for Dusty May and Curt Cignetti, is that their ability to evaluate talent and then say, okay, this talent right here fits here, and I can take this talent here and it fits here, and to put it all together and have a successful winning program. I mean, you can't look at...
And you got to have a great locker room. And
you do.
And I don't know...
That's part of putting it together.
But it's a little bit of luck, too.
Yeah.
Because, anybody can sell you that they're good guys on the surface in recruiting visits. You can talk to other people that, you can get different views on somebody. But, once you get them in there around their teammates, that's when you're really going to be able to figure something out.
Well, when you take, like Cignetti takes parts from James Madison and fits them in. And those guys, a couple of them now have NFL futures. That's the talent evaluation. And he saw something in them. They brought him to James Madison and took him to Indiana and won a national championship. I think Dusty May just did that in basketball as well.
And Dusty going to get Yaks from UAB. I mean, he's really good at UAB, but you didn't know how good he would be at this level.
Yeah, was it
much
just
like,
because he was playing American players all the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like Mendoza. You know, you go get Mendoza from Cal, and, you know, Mendoza plays well in that situation, but how good's he going to play in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the portal, because I think we saw this a little bit to a much lesser extent with Alabama and Noah Williamson. Like, I think that was obviously Noah Williamson just wasn't playing the level of talent that Alabama evaluated he was, right? And you get him in this level of talent, he couldn't play. You know, I don't think you're running the same risk with Yaks. Obviously, that kid's a different player than Noah Williamson. But you did wonder, the American and the Big Ten, not the same conference, is it going to translate? And it not only translated, he improved.
The good news is he didn't have to play a 5. You know, he didn't have to be the big man on the floor oftentimes like he was at UAB.
Yeah.
He had the parts around him that he could fit into his natural position, something Dusty May was able to evaluate and do a wonderful job coaching. Dusty May, by the way, spent a little time coaching at UAB. Is that right? He was an assistant at UAB back in the day?
Oh, I didn't think so.
I don't think so.
He was not?
I'll tell you right now, Dusty May, 2007 to 2009.
Here's Dusty May.
I had no idea.
I guess I'd forgotten that.
Here's Dusty May, who won a national championship, and he's so complimentary of his locker room.
When you bring a group this talented together and they decide from the beginning that they're going to do it this way and they never waver and they never change, that's probably the most uncommon thing in athletics now, and it's a tribute to their character, but also those in their circles around them, their coaches, their parents, their mentors. They allowed these guys to give themselves up for the group, and it's never guaranteed, but for these guys to cut down the nets after all they sacrifice is pretty special.
Seems like a really good guy.
I like him. Yeah, I like him. And he can flat coach. I mean, again, we've talked about.
He was under Mike Davis, by the way.
I know. It's the Indiana connection. He was in Indiana and then came, with Mike Davis when he was at UAB. I'd forgotten that. So thanks for reminding me, because that is pretty cool. But, I mean, it just
You're welcome. It's what I do.
It seems like everybody.
How has that never been brought up on this show?
It's one of those things, like, once Jim mentioned, I was like, do I remember that or not? Have I ever seen that or not? It's like every game he coaches, whether they dictate the pace or not, he's always got a plan to counter that. Like, I mean, to Lance's point, UConn dictated the first half a lot, right? They take the lead about a buck and a half to go before the half and never trail again. It's like, okay, UConn, you've played your hand. Now here we're going to take the game over and you're never going to be in it again. It's just, it feels like that's the way he coaches every single game.
By the way, I saw a great bracket challenge as a result of this. Dan Orlovsky. Have you seen
it's
this?
a great punishment. Yeah,
I tweeted it out this morning.
It was almost like my props that I wanted this to do. I think we should have done the props.
Except he's doing it on ESPN.
For those that have not seen it, Dan Orlovsky, being a UConn grad, loses his challenge. I think he had a bet with somebody, a Michigan grad. Was it Schefter he had a bet with?
Taylor Lewan.
Okay, Taylor Lewan. And so he's got to wear a dangling Michigan earring for 1 month on every ESPN show he appears on, any show, McAfee, anything, any show he appears on, the dangling Michigan earring for 1 month. And if he misses a show with it, like if he came on our show, he's supposed to have it on. If he misses that, the 1 month starts over. And it continues until he completes 1 month of doing that.
Dan is supposed to be home with us over the next 2 weeks. I don't know. He told me.
I can't wait.
In fact, we were texting yesterday, and he was finding the day. He was going to let me know the day. And all I could think of when I saw this morning, because you just said it, even if he appears on our show, I'm like, please don't let it be our show where he just forgets. Like, I'm on in Birmingham.
Now, do y'all have clarification? Does he actually have to get it pierced, or is it just
it's clip-on?
Yeah.
Okay. Clip-on.
But I would start it after the draft. I mean, a lot of people are watching the draft that are going to be unaware of this bet, and they're going to be like, what's this Orlovsky guy doing? Is he in his midlife crisis already?
Now, I know peer pressure gets you. Did you pierce your ear back in the day?
Never did. I had to start because I had this little white patch of gray right here, probably from stress. And so I started dyeing my hair, sun-inning my hair at a very early age. right after my senior year when it started to really show up of high school. So I had the sun-in bleached blonde hair going oftentimes. So
didn't want to compliment it with an earring with a stud.
I didn't have to go with an earring as well.
But what's so funny is anybody that got that done, people would do it with the ice cube, and they would have the piercing forever. It would never go away.
Yeah, it never goes away.
One more big thing to get to in this opening segment, brought to you by our wonderful friends at Kalshi, where last night I took a position first to 10 points, Michigan, easy win there. Then I took a position on 62.5 on the total, and I played the over on that. It was 62 at the half. That was a bad beat there. Last minute, a lot of missed opportunities, including a couple of free throws. That would have been a good win. And then, of course, I had UConn in the points. As I said yesterday on the show, you can take a lot of fun positions with our friends at Kalshi.
Yeah, one of the things, like if you're sitting in your cubicle, you're bored at work, first thing you got to do, download the Kalshi app. Once you do that, put in that code TNR. When you trade $10, you're going to get $10 back. But just look at the variety and the different fields you can get involved in. Not only sports with Major League Baseball and the Masters coming up. We'll give you some really good Masters positions tomorrow, but also politics, pop culture. It is all available at your fingertips, and legal trading in all 50 states from our friends at Kalshi.
And use code TNR when you download the Kalshi app or go online at Kalshi, and you get $10 on your first $10 position. That's their bonus to you with code TNR. Lance mentioned the Masters. You can take a position on Masters champion Scotty Scheffler. Right now at 14%, John Rahm at 8%, Bryson DeChambeau at 7%. But they've also got some individuals. You can play like round one leader, make the cut, end of each round, golfer groups. You can play a lot of things, tournament matchups, if you want to get into the Masters right there.
By the way, that is real-time betting. Again, Jeff, who watches the show and is on Kalshi, code TNR, did say those are real-time live color betting. So as you're watching the green and the blue on the side, those are people betting on the green.
Okay.
Right now.
All
green,
right.
green.
It's interesting. Scheffler's not in his best form. His wife just had another kid, so he's been off a little bit. So this is probably the worst form he's entered Augusta with in quite a while. So it does feel a little bit more wide open this year.
Yeah. I don't understand why I never see a blue, but
Nobody's getting down on Rahm.
Yeah, but there you go. That's with our friends at Kalshi and our buddies at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's Greg from Pell City and his wife, Andrea. Man, that company's locally owned for over 20 years, almost 30 years now. And I'd like to tell you this up front. They're just a good Central Alabama family, just good old folks. 10 kids, right? 10 kids, loving family, and they know what it's like to be a local family. And, things cost stuff, right? Everything seems to be expensive. That's why Greg wants to give you a free, no cost, no obligation roof inspection. Call this number to get in line for that no cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531. 542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com. You can't get a roof repair if you don't know what the heck's going on with your roof. You don't know you need a roof repair unless you get somebody up there to check out the shingles or the fittings around some pipings or the chimney or whatever. If you got a home, get that roof inspected with Greg from Pell City, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He does roof replacements, storm damage repairs. He's got a builder's license. He's wonderful with the insurance companies, and he can just walk you through the process. Keep the number on standby or the website, stormrestorationroofing.com. Greg from Pell City, give him a call. The other big talking point after the win last night, ending a 25-year drought for the Big Ten, is that the Big Ten now rules the world in this new era of college athletics. They have 3 different schools to win the college football, the men's basketball, and the women's basketball. So they win all 3 of those. They now have won 3 straight football championships. They win a basketball now, and really rare air of just the ability to be both football and basketball national champions at the same time. It does feel like, since we flipped to the NIL, that the Big Ten has an advantage.
It feels that way for a reason.
I don't think you can deny it. The interesting thing is we always thought the SEC and the Big Ten were really close, but the Big Ten had no national championships, not only in basketball, but not in football.
That's right.
For a long time. And so that was the obvious flex from the SEC, but now you can't really deny it.
I mean, it's the numbers are what they are, and it has been very, Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana in football, and now Michigan for the first time, as you said, since Michigan State won in 2000. And the one before that, if I'm not mistaken, did I miss one? It was Indiana back in '87. Was that the one before Michigan?
Yeah, I think that's right.
No, wait a minute.
Michigan State.
Michigan State was in 2000. Michigan was in the 80s, and then Indiana. So it's not like they were stacking them before Michigan State won them either. I mean, they weren't getting a ton of them then either. But, I mean, it's undeniable now that for whatever reason in the NIL world, the Big Ten has owned it.
Kevin Skarbinski last night on Twitter and others, but Kevin is where I got it from. Indiana football, Michigan and men's basketball. The Big Ten joins the SEC and the ACC as the only conferences to win undisputed national titles in both sports in the same academic year since the NCAA tournament expanded to 64 teams in 1985. The SEC did it in 06 and 07 with Florida in both sports. Impressive. And in 11 and 12 with Alabama in football and Kentucky in basketball. The ACC did it in 16 and 17 with Clemson in football and North Carolina in basketball, and in 18 and 19 with Clemson in football and Virginia in basketball. So now the Big Ten has finally rung that bell that the SEC and the ACC has done twice since 1985 to hold the two big sports national championships at the same time.
This used to feel like, though, this was reserved for the SEC to do it. Like, you know, ACC might win a basketball one with Duke or North Carolina, a random football one with Clemson. The Big Ten might stumble into a football one, maybe stumble into a basketball one, but it felt like the SEC was the only conference that could do what the Big Ten is doing right now.
Now, we got a problem if Big Ten starts doing this in baseball.
I would like to think we could still hold that one, we being the South.
Considering it's still snowing up there.
UCLA is the number one ranked team in the country.
I forget their Big Ten. Brooks is right.
Yeah, different format. By the way, UCLA was the Big Ten's first women's title since 1999. Now Michigan's won it since 2000. And, of course, they've won 3 straight in football. So pretty impressive run there from the Big Ten. And there, you know, it just means more. It's the long-standing SEC, right?
Correct.
It just means more. I saw last night the Big Ten folks were joking. A lot of play. The Big Ten, it just wins more is their catchphrase right now.
When you get the crowns, you get to make the jokes and
victory laps. What do you do? What do you do if you're the SEC? Is there anything you can do? Because the conference did make it was a conference-wide initiative to schedule better in basketball to pull SEC basketball out of the doldrums. I mean, this was, you know, Mike Slive and Greg Sankey's biggest accomplishment, getting so many teams in the tournament last year and then again this year. And to have them so many in last year and to have 2 Final Four teams in Auburn and Florida to win it. So what do you do now when money's involved?
I think it is somewhat coincidental. I do think that obviously they've got more resources, but look, there's a commitment in the SEC. You've got great coaches, resources. You've got everything you need to win. But, you know, when you start, like, looking next year in college football, how many teams in the SEC really can win a national championship?
Oh, let's save that for the next segment where we're going to do.
Which is crazy because, you know, on a given year, you would say 5 or 6 maybe. Last year, the SEC, arguably numbers-wise, had their best year ever in college basketball. But the Big Ten is the one that
had 5 football playoff teams this year. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you were correct about that.
So, I mean, I still think it's just they're winning the championships, which the SEC was doing before. Just think it's kind of a swing right now. But, I mean, if Texas ended up winning the national championship this year in football, and then in basketball, and next year Arkansas won the national championship, nobody'd be surprised.
No, you'd feel like it's back.
Yeah. It's back, baby.
In fact, we'd declare our depth. Look at our depth. We've got Arkansas winning again.
So in the next segment, LT brings this to the table today. The 10 best college football and men's basketball programs over the next 5 years. So it's a 5-year window. Who will have the best men's basketball and college football programs combined over the next 10 years. So there may be some national champions won, but you got to drag along the other sport with you. So you may not my top 10 may have 0 national champions, but will be the best combo of the two, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that's in the next segment. Show being brought to you by our wonderful friends at Central State Bank. Local, man. I say this all the time. Back to my Little League days, sign on the fence supporting the Little Leaguers. That's the kind of people Central State Bank is.
It is a local bank. And why does that matter to you? Well, you're dealing with people that your kids go to school with, people that you're working with in the same community. They go to your church. They're at your ballparks. Those are the ones that are making decisions for those important moments of your life, not some suit somewhere that is completely disconnected. That's Central State Bank. They've got a branch close to you in Central Alabama. They've been serving Central Alabama for more than 100 years. Central State Bank. They're not just opening accounts. They're building relationships. Central State Bank, big enough to meet all your needs, small enough to know you. Member FDIC.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
This spring, make it a week the whole family will remember. The Regions Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, returns to Greystone for championship golf and family fun. Watch legendary players compete, enjoy activities for all ages, and experience the excitement on and off the course. Don't forget to stop by Hole 10 following play on Saturday for a live concert featuring Blues Traveler. This is a week you don't want to miss. April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Rolling on to the next round today. Don't forget Conor O'Gara and company with their new OG kickoff. New one drops today, I believe, on our Tuesday. Tuesday, OG kickoff. And always the last call with Mick and Jake. You can get that on our platforms there. And our new Next Reels out today as well, or maybe a little bit later on. I know you shot it yesterday. You're doing a little editing, a little post-pro?
Yeah, looking to get it out this afternoon. Ran into some technical issues and lost the save of the project.
Oh, no.
And had
that
go back and start repiecing stuff together.
Oh, man.
Do we just need to cut another one?
No,
Okay.
because I've got to go through and add clips to it anyway. So.
Okay, well, this one's fun. So we're doing different themes. So this week we did our top 5 off the beaten path films that are involved with organized crime. So you didn't have like the Goodfellas and the Godfather and Scarface, things like that. But we had no duplication.
Yeah.
So we do deep dive. So we've got 10 films for you that I think you'll really dig if you like organized crime.
Yeah, and who doesn't, right? So that's the next reels. It'll be out later today, maybe tomorrow, but set your alert so you get any of our content dropped for you there. As I said, 16 days away from the draft. We'll talk Masters a little bit later on in the show. But before we get into our discussion about what happened to Alabama basketball yesterday in the portal and what could be coming to town in the portal, and our 10 college football men's basketball programs over the next 5 years, let's remind you that the Stallions are about to have a very important day happening this weekend, as it's their home opener.
Next weekend.
Not this weekend, next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah. 3 straight road games to start the year. I thought that was kind of weird in the scheduling.
That's why I thought it was this weekend.
Yeah, it is not. It is Saturday, April 18th is the home opener. Next weekend, 3 o'clock kick for that one. It is the Stallions wanting you to get your help to pack protective. And the first 5,000 fans receive a Stallions t-shirt. So be early, get a Stallions t-shirt. Gucci Mane performing at the half. No Pooh Shiesty in this building. We only got Gucci Mane. Tickets start at just $15. Bring the whole family. UFLstallions.com to get tickets. UFLstallions.com.
I guess we have the Post Malone concert down there before then, right?
Is that this?
I think it's June.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know because
what else?
People were telling me about the Ubering.
No, it's May. It's May. I looked it up yesterday. It was May
26th.
Yeah, May 26th.
Yeah, I think that is going to be my Uber date. I think it is too soon to turn everything around when we're talking about getting paperwork, legal paperwork to have people sign off.
That's going to be tricky.
Not going to happen this weekend, but I think Post Malone for May will be good.
Morgan Wallen's this weekend?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's in Tuscaloosa.
How about that? New albums. He's got his own Sirius XM radio channel now. I saw Post Malone.
Oh, I thought you would be going to that. I thought you were a big Morgan Wallen guy.
Oh, I love Morgan Wallen. It's one of the top 3 artists on my golf playlist. No tickets in the area that Jim would want that are affordable to me. I mean, I'm not going to go to Morgan Wallen and be in the upper deck at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
No.
I'd go to the Final Four and sit in the upper deck and not be able to see the damn court.
Can you not get a good ticket for $300?
Oh, later in the show, pull up the Morgan Wallen.
I mean, I don't know.
Not now. We got stuff to get to. Clay Travis coming up too. Later in the show, we'll look at the ticket prices for Morgan Wallen down where you could actually see
Morgan Wallen,
Morgan or Wallen, or little Morgan Wallen.
Morgan's Wallens.
All right. So yesterday, Alabama's Aiden Sherrell hits the portal. We told you Taylor Bowen hit yesterday. That got this from the room. Aiden Sherrell hits the portal, and you've got chaos everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, no, not that guy. We said last week, Brownie, when I did my list of players that you wanted to make sure you retained.
Right.
Aiden Sherrell was number 1. I think, LT, you agreed because he was the unicorn on the team. He can shoot outside, he can run the floor, but he also was the big guy inside. It was what you didn't have this past year.
Look, if you would have, we're talking about this before the season, I never would have thought Aiden Sherrell would be that guy. But the way the season played out, lack of rim protection, just lack of really any effective bigs at all. This is surprising, but you can go in the portal and come back out.
You can.
This may be, an agent play. All right, let's put a little pressure on him and see where our offer is going to be.
Some early buzz from the folks in Tuscaloosa was Alabama's still trying to retain.
I mean, I would think, and I could be wrong, that Nate or whoever threw Aiden, hey, look, great season. Here's what we're looking to do next year. He tells his representation, and they're like, that's not enough. We've got to leverage this a little bit. And look, there's going to be a lot of suitors in the portal. People always overpay, especially for a big. And when you look at how the 2 teams got to where they got last night, playing for a national championship, it was with a lot of length. So there's a huge market for him. And Alabama's just going to have to figure out whether, they want to spend that type of money.
If you just want to look at last night, do you guys happen to know where Aiden Sherrell is from?
Michigan?
Detroit,
Question
Michigan.
mark? Detroit, Michigan?
Yep,
Yeah.
Detroit, Michigan.
I mean, if you're an agent, you look at that, right, and you say, well, how did they get to the national championship game, Michigan? Well, they spent the most money. Where's my guy from? He's from Michigan. Is he a good player? He's a good player. Well, let's just see what Michigan would offer. We're going to give Dusty some time. Dusty's doing interviews right now. He's on all our TVs doing the interview rounds. We'll give Dusty some time to come down off the mountaintop and scan his roster and see what he likes. I'm not saying we're leaving Alabama, but I am saying we're going to consider all options.
Yeah, I would tell you instant offers that Alabama would have to beat would be Michigan, Michigan State, and probably Arkansas, Kentucky in the SEC. Those are Sherrell's a good player. 11-6 guy started every game for Alabama. He's got 2 years of eligibility left, so you don't just get him one, you get him two, unless he bounces to the NBA. That's interesting to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on two names in the portal that could end up at Alabama. Jasper Johnson is leaving Kentucky, Lexington native. Alabama was the last in the mix. It came down to Kentucky and Alabama for him. I think he was a top 25 guy. And then a guy that's got Alabama roots. John David Phillips, Brody Croyles, his uncle. Cade Phillips, who's played 3 years at Tennessee forward. He is a guy that's in the portal and could be in the mix at Alabama, brings a little size on the inside. And this is an interesting name that's in the portal. He's still got to get approved for a fifth year, but a lot of people think he's going to get it. Florida did lose one of their front line guys, Michael Hanlotton, the guy who had that horrible injury 2 years ago at the SEC tournament, played 14 games last year, but was back this year. He's in the portal. I mean, there's 1,000 people in the portal, but those are three names to keep an eye on. Mo Diabate's back in the portal as well.
Yeah. I mean, you get excited about these names. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I saw Badunga enter the portal from Kansas, to Lance's point, you're like, well, a lot of people look for that type of player right now, and you get all excited. But
so does the NBA. He may be an NBA guy.
And that's the whole thing. And I think actually a lot of the projections are that our favorite college billionaire is trying to buy him, and he's going to end up at Texas Tech potentially. Yeah. That's some of the speculation. But my point there is when you see a name like that get in, you're like, ooh, everybody gets excited, and then Hanlotton gets in, and you're like, or would I rather have him? I mean, that's the way the portal works.
Justin Pippen, by the way, Scotty's son from California, he's in the portal, and he's got at least a year left. So a lot of portal names. Portal's officially open today. Now to the conversation about the best college basketball, football programs combination over the next 5-year projections, brought to you by Lance's Lock and the wonderful folks at Hemp Hill. You can actually go make plays on who's going to win next year's national championship and a lot more at a lot of places, including our friends at Cauchy. Lance has plays on baseball and NBA basketball happening today.
Yeah, hey, look, we work hard to make sure we are effective, and, as we roll into year 13, I'll just say this, 21-14 in the NCAA tournament for you, that's 66%. I mean, that is a good winning clip. Right now in Major League Baseball, 20-11-1 to start the season. We are winning for you. Jump on board. You can get a daily. You can sample it, weekly, monthly, annual packages. And there's a free play every single day at lanceslock.com. Very transparent. We've been that way for, decade plus. That's the way we do it. But jump on board, win with us. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
I'm going to do mine first because I think it'll be the most controversial.
Oh, I don't know. This is quite difficult, honestly.
Can't wait to see how high you got LSU.
Number 5 combo. Number 5 combo, and I got him in there. LT, do you have him in yours? LSU
in my top 10?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Just making sure.
I just wouldn't be surprised you got him number 1.
I don't have him number 1. 5 years. Best combination football and basketball. Here's my top 10: purple or SEC teams, blue or Big Ten teams, black or other conferences.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Here's my top 10 right here. Florida is number 1 for me. I don't think Golden's going anywhere, and I believe in Summerall and the money they spend on basketball there. Michigan is 2. Texas, there's LSU at 4. I'm going to stick with Alabama and ride as long as Nate Oates is there at 5. Texas Tech is 6. USC 7. Oregon 8. BYU 9. Louisville 10. And I say this now to tell you there may not be a national champion in either sport on this. But the way I attacked it was best combination teams each year. Like, Alabama, top 15 in both. Florida, top 15 in both. Michigan, top 15 in both. So that's the way I attacked it. None of these may win a national championship. It may be Ohio State in football, maybe Notre Dame in football. Maybe it's, Gonzaga or UConn in basketball. But the next 5 years, I think these are the most consistent 10 programs in both football and basketball. That's my list. I like this list.
All right.
I like it a lot.
All right.
You left. I don't want to say obvious.
Who would you say, though? If you were going to call one obvious that he left off, who would you say it is?
I mean, I think Texas A&M.
Okay. We'll see if they're on my list.
All due respect to Bucky and Mike Elko.
I think Elko's a better coach than Lane Kiffin, and I think Bucky's really close with Will Wade. I mean, we don't know for sure, but with their money is the only reason I would throw it in there too.
Yeah. You want me to go?
Sure.
Maybe prisoner of the moment, but I am going to have Michigan number 1. I'm going to have Alabama number 2. Now, let me quickly, before everybody starts.
Well, I mean, I just follow, the reaction on social media. I knew you'd have Alabama that high.
That's right.
With no Auburn on there.
With no Auburn because I hate the NIT. I think either Kalen DeBoer is going to consistently be in the playoffs or they're going to find someone else who is. And I have faith in Nate Oates consistently being a Sweet 16, Elite 8, challenging the Final Four type coach. I think that's who he's shown to be. I believe Sark will keep Texas there, and I believe in Sean Miller. Now, here's where, at number 4, people are going to be like, Indiana? Let me explain Indiana real quick. Well, let me finish, and I want to come back to Indiana. Florida 5 for some of the same reasons you said. Ohio State 6 because they're so good in football. Texas Tech, they're spending. They're spending in both sports.
I do have Texas Tech.
I know.
I was just making sure.
Yeah, Texas A&M, I did put them in at number 8. BYU at 9. Georgia at 10. I did leave LSU out. I just want to see if they can sustain the spending they need in basketball with Will Wade. They are spending a lot of money right now, and can they sustain that? I want to go back to Indiana, and here's why I've got them at number 4. Because now they've won the football. They've been really good in football. They've won the football championship, and they're going to be good in football. At some point, the money people in Indiana are going to say, we actually love basketball. This football thing's fun. Why can't we do this in basketball? And they're going to realize we can win a championship way cheaper in basketball than it's costing us to do in football.
So what does that do in football, though? If you do that, then how does it impact football?
I don't think football will drop off that much. I just don't know that they're going to be what they were last year, right?
Well,
but it was still a playoff
Darian
team.
DeVries had them year 1, 18-14. I've got them on my list as well.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Okay.
Well, you've got the best coach in football right now. It's going to be hard to not have them on the list when you just factor that in.
I just think at some point they're going to say, we could do this a whole lot cheaper in basketball and win a championship. So at some point the money is going to realize we could still do this in basketball. We could still be a basketball school and be good in football.
Yeah, so I've got Tennessee. You guys didn't have Tennessee.
I did not.
Rick Barnes, I don't know when he's going to.
I don't know about that.
First one out was Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Heupel is doing a really good, solid job. He's got to get quarterback right. But until Rick Barnes retires, I've got Tennessee there. Oregon at number 9.
See, I thought I'd be the only one with them.
Dana Altman, it was just a strange year, but I think they'll bounce back next year. And I don't know how much longer he's going to be coaching, but they'll go out and they'll get a young stud.
That's right. Yeah. And maybe their next guy.
Again, DeVries didn't have good year 1, but he was 18-14, and where Cignetti is. A&M, I believe in the Elko, Bucky McMillan combo. I do have LSU at number 6 because I do think Will Wade will get basketball back in the right direction and the commitment right now to football. I mean, if they don't win 10 games, my gosh.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the most underrated areas of high school basketball in the country is Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Number 5, Texas Tech. I mean, Grant McCaslin, Joey McGuire, even if you plugged in whoever else with the money they got for these rosters, I don't think it matters. The top 4 for me were really easy. I mean, whatever order you want to do it, but I think Texas, because I do believe in Sean Miller too. And,
me too.
Sark has got his best roster coming back right now. Alabama, that combination, I think Kalen DeBoer is going to be just fine, and Nate Oates is one of the best coaches in college basketball. The only reason I thought about Florida at 1, the only reason I had them at 2 is I want to see the transition. We love John Summerall, but I don't think you can put them at number 1 right now as good as Todd Golden is because we don't know how Summerall is going to do in the SEC. And then number 1, Michigan. I don't know how much longer Kyle Whittingham's going to do it, but I could see him do it for another 5 years, and I think that they will compete at a high level.
That's why I went Florida 1, is because Florida's already got their next coach for the next 5 years.
Mhm.
And I still, to this day, believe Kyle Whittingham is a placeholder.
Yeah, you've said that, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, his age does make you wonder that. I disagree with you, but
Like, it would not shock me if Michigan has a different head coach next season. Like, if he's just a one and done, only because he's doing a solid for people he knows at Michigan. Wouldn't shock me if that was the case. That he really was on his way to retirement.
I would be shocked at that.
Okay.
Because I just don't think Michigan would have made that hire. I think Michigan could have taken some time after Sharon Moore and gotten somebody that would be there long term and not just a one-year placeholder.
Well, and you tell me, what do you think Whittingham's going to do this year? Just on the surface, if you're just guessing.
I don't buy their quarterback yet.
I'm with you on that. That does worry me.
I mean, a great recruit and big upside. Don't buy him yet. And I do think a culture change in running the football and the way they have done it with their roster. I picture them, let's see, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, Penn State. They're going to be battling for 4th, 5th, 6th place in the Big Ten.
Well, there's a reason I bring this up. I just don't think Kyle Whittingham is going to go from overachieving all those years in Salt Lake to taking one of the best jobs in college football, having an average season, and then tapping out after one season. I really think he'll give them 3 to 5 years, and I think Kyle Whittingham's a hell of a coach, and I believe in Underwood a lot more than you guys do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But you've got no USC. I've got USC.
Well, I mean, look, USC
That basketball program is
garbage,
yeah.
and Lincoln's got to show me something a little more consistently. I think it is going in the right direction, but I have no faith in basketball.
Tennessee
USC.
was close for me. It was football that was keeping them out.
Actually, my issue was Rick Barnes' retirement. Like, if Rick retires over the next couple of weeks, it wouldn't stun me, and I just don't know. You don't know who the replacement's going to be.
I thought about Arizona State. I don't like Dillingham a lot, but he's done a good job there. And then you bring in Randy Bennett, who was really, really good at St. Mary's, and now he's got money to spend. So that's an interesting combo.
Yeah, Arizona seems like it was a better play. You don't have BYU at all.
Nope.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, you think about what they spent this year, and they couldn't get out of the first round.
That's what scares me. Is like, okay, wait a minute. We spent $5 million on what was supposed to be the best player in America, and we don't even advance in the tournament. This is money not well spent. I mean, that's.
And last year they got dick kicked in Sweet 16. I mean, it wasn't even close.
By Alabama.
Yeah, it's hard to go back to the boosters that just gave you $5 million for the best player in America and be like, okay, I need $8 million this time, but I promise you we're going to make the Elite Eight with this guy.
And I like Kalani Sitake a lot, but. I mean, are they ever going to get to a college football playoff? I don't know.
So let's see the conversation about the next 5 years. Would love to see what they're saying in the chat room, Brownie, while LT tells us about our friends at Odie's, where these guys will be back for trivia coming up tomorrow night. And you always go by for a great lunch or dinner.
So tomorrow night, we've got trivia, the original location in Crestline, newer location in Edgewood. We will be out there Thursday for the Masters at 4 o'clock. Come join us. Odie's Team Trivia, again, every Wednesday night. Incredible food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it almost 4 decades now. Both locations, live music every Friday and Saturday night. The ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. It's a Birmingham institution. Get in, see Will Aver and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
Someone brought up the fact that you said you thought Alabama would go 8-4 or 7-5 yesterday.
No.
You got them. I know. I'm letting you clear this up. That's not what you
either
said.
Alabama or Georgia, 8-4 or 7-5.
Okay. All right. So you didn't necessarily say it would be Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, more shocking would be Georgia.
It would be.
No, it would be. Yeah, you're right. Morgan asked about Louisville.
Hold on, Forrest. I know it's on the fly. How quickly can you get me to the Georgia football schedule? I know you have a folder. Quick clip right there at the top left. No, I don't know. Go ahead.
Clip.
Read another one. When he gets Georgia, we'll get back to the Georgia football schedule.
Let's see. Penn State talk. LSU not over Alabama. I would agree with that one. Morgan asked about Louisville. You had them. You and I did not.
I like Kelsey. I think Brom's solid. I don't think it's a top 10 program combo.
Yeah.
I think Louisville football this year is a ACC runner-up type program.
We say that every year.
I know. And every year they look like they could be, and they never get there. A lot of people are asking why Florida. We like Summerall on this show. We've been open about that.
And they've got one of the –
I know.
Again, I'm still shocked that they went out in the second round of this tournament.
So talk about Kentucky, too. Are you not believing enough in Will Stein that I don't think Will Stein could get him as a playoff contender? Like, I think everybody –
Do you believe in Mark Pope?
Yeah.
That's true. That may be the bigger But again, like I said with DeBoer, Pope's either going to get them back to Elite Eights and stuff, or he's not going to be there. I mean, they'll make that change.
I mean,
very,
that
very
will
quickly.
be. I mean, look, I think Steven is on somewhat of a hot seat going into next year.
Yeah.
But the hottest of hot seats is Mark Pope, a guy that has gone to the tournament the last 2 years, but it's just not good enough at Kentucky if you're not making those runs.
Yeah.
That's in the chat room over there. Let's take a look at that Georgia football schedule. Easy win, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Vandy. Alabama, Georgia should both be 5-0 when they play each other. Go ahead and put that one prime time on ABC.
You think game day might be
Fowler and Herb Street.
Man, you find me 4 losses on that.
Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, Missouri, South Carolina, Georgia Tech.
That ain't your 8 and 4 team.
Hard to lose 4 there.
And then even Alabama's schedule, if they were to go 8 and 4, they would have to lose all of the swing games.
Yeah, love Alabama's schedule.
I think that was a bad feeling. I think you ate something that upset your stomach.
Swing games for Georgia is Alabama, Auburn, Florida, that stretch, Ole Miss.
Where's the Oklahoma game?
That is in Sanford Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, Alabama's the only – I mean, I just don't see any other losses.
Yeah, that's a very favorable Georgia schedule, honestly.
I mean, they could limp in at 10-2.
I mean, even the Florida game, don't forget it's at Mercedes-Benz. That's going to be a Georgia home game for that. I mean –
and it's year 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is year 1. All right. So come on, Kalen DeBoer. Don't be that 8 and 4 team.
It could just be that you had a bad feeling here, Jim. I understand that.
Okay, Michel's viewing menu. The Michelson viewing menu gets us to Clay Travis. Tell us about Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. The phone call that I made back in 2003. I wore the contacts for a decade. If you're wearing contacts or glasses, you were wasting money each and every year. Again, I'm speaking from experience. Pain in the ass to take those contacts out at night. Then you got to put them back in the next morning. Don't have to deal with any of that. Think about, pool season. When you go underwater, you open the eyes, contacts float out. Don't deal with that. I've got 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They are going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, so last night I went to the Scream Unseen and caught the unreleased remake of Faces of Death. It was awful.
Like the old
nobody dies, right?
Yeah, this was just
like the old school Faces of Death, where you'd see somebody get hit by a train, somebody gets electrocuted.
Yeah, legitimate, stuff we see every day on Twitter.
That was we talked about it as kids. Like that was the one where all the video stores had to pull it in the back, and you had to get your parents' permission.
Yeah, I mean you can't do it anymore.
Too many complaints. Too many complaints.
You can't work a kid on a set more than 2 hours.
This one took a social media angle as far as like dumb challenges that kids do and just like crazy content you'll see on social media. And it just felt like a giant waste of time to me. The whole time I was thinking, who is this for? Because this doesn't satisfy somebody who grew up on the original, because this is just a regular old horror movie called Faces of Death.
Right.
So it's not satisfying fans of that content. It's not bringing in new fans, because who in 2026 cares about Faces of Death? It's not like a massive IP that made a ton of money. So I just don't understand what the point is.
Okay, so it was awful.
Yeah, so don't waste your time.
I gave it 1.5 stars.
Okay, so I mentioned...
Out of 10 or 4? Or
out of 5.
Out of 5.
I mentioned this on the next reel yesterday. This show on Netflix, Something Very Bad is Going to Happen. I think you would really dig it. I'm 3 episodes in. It's 8 episodes. It is the horror genre. It's just very, very interesting. And again, it's a massive cast, and the only person I know is Jennifer Jason Leigh. But it's got jump scares early, but I think that kind of pans out. But everybody I've talked to that's finished it, they say it's outstanding. It's got really good reviews, and through 3 episodes, I think it's really good. But it's dark. You would like it.
I'll definitely check that out. After I got home from the theater, I loaded up The Invisible Man from 1933 because I had never seen the original. Loved it. Holds up after 90 years, amazingly.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gave that
90
one
years is a long time.
4 to 4.5 stars. I would give that film.
Do you get it at Tubi?
Actually, no. It wasn't on Tubi. It was on Plex.
Okay.
Which I had never heard of.
Yeah. By the way, Tubi, my new favorite network. I don't know if you guys know that.
All right.
There's a lot of good stuff on
it's
Tubi.
great.
They added Mrs. Doubtfire. I was scrolling through there last night to find The Invisible Man.
Ad-free?
No.
It is not ad-free.
You're just going to see Doug and the ostrich and the kid that can't spell insurance.
Yeah. A lot of emu.
Yeah.
But apparently Tubi's set up in a way where they get their licenses by only having the ad tier. By having the option to pay for ad-free, it puts you in like a different sort of category as far as licensing deals go, and then things get way more expensive.
It doesn't bother me now.
Yeah, I don't care. I just use it to go get a drink. Peacock has added an absolute classic to its catalog in Space Jam.
I've still never seen that.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces.
And
I've never watched it start to finish.
How have you avoided Space
my
Jam?
first full-time radio job was at a place called Radio Disney, and we wore that out. The R. Kelly, everything involved in that. I heard it all the time, but I never went to see Space Jam. I wasn't a big Jordan guy. As good as he was, respected him.
Well, there's more Looney Tunes in that movie than Michael Jordan. I'm not a big Jordan guy either. He's way before my time. Paramount Plus has added a horror franchise that I never could quite get into, but I might give another run in the near future, and that is Paranormal Activity. I remember not liking the first one at all, and then just never continuing with the sequels. But they've got...
Never seen one.
6 different movies. It gets real scary. They set up a security camera in their bedroom, and then a chair shakes in the middle of the night.
Well, Netflix has got a 5-part series on real supernatural occurrences, but I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm not gonna go down that road.
Yeah, those videos are never very interesting. And then finally on TNT for viewing menu today, you've got a great desert double feature. At 4:15, you got Dune Part 2, and then immediately after, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Both really, really good.
Both are great films. Yeah. That's all I got.
That's not who Furio used to be named after.
No,
right?
Furio was named after Furio. My mom just got an Italian Greyhound and named it Furio after my late Furio, who passed away. We were doing the show together in 2015.
I remember
Your
well.
mom just got a Greyhound?
Italian Greyhound.
Italian Greyhound?
Yeah. Probably a mistake, but
Yeah. Did you buy it
people
for her?
don't listen to me. No.
No, people don't listen to me. Yeah.
I mean, she could drop dead tomorrow, honestly, and those Italian Greyhounds could live to be 20.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to take it on? Not my ass. I got 2 wild dogs. I ain't taking another one.
And your dogs would eat that one for a snack. That's
Can you show me the Kalshi odds on who takes over the dog?
It will not.
LT's the betting favorite right now.
I promise you. It will not be
right now. Yeah, betting favorite right there. All right, Clay Travis coming up on the other side. The show being brought to you today by our wonderful friends at the Inverness Country Club, where Brownie was out swinging the sticks yesterday.
Yeah, by the way, it was a great day out there. Without going into too much detail, there's a gentleman out there in need of a kidney transplant, and another member is donating the kidney, which is pretty awesome.
That is incredible.
Yeah, and it was a fundraiser for some funds involved, so I appreciate you guys letting me leave the show early to take part of that. Raised a ton of money, had a great time.
Are they related?
There's some. I don't want to comment on that because I'm not certain.
Yeah, and we've had this conversation years ago. Like, how many people would you actually give an organ for?
I know
right?
it's very unselfish.
Big step, but hey, that's the fraternity that is the Inverness Country Club. The food's up there is amazing. They've got memberships to fit everyone, from the golf, the social, the racket club, newly renovated dining up there, clubhouse and dining. Just a fantastic place to take a tour. ICCalabama.com. That is ICCalabama.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Greystone. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, is bringing championship golf April 29th through May 3rd. Watch the game's biggest names battle it out for one of the most prestigious titles on the tour. Experience the atmosphere, the excitement, and a full week of entertainment. This is the week golf fans love. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
There's only one Clay Travis. He's standing by. There's only one Talladega Super Speedway. It's standing by for the Jack Links 500 coming up Sunday, April 26th. Friday, April 24th through the 26th is race weekend as the most unpredictable super speedway gets fired up with the best drivers in the world racing out there. All the excitement of door handle to door handle, if they had door handles, bumper to bumper. Sometimes they don't have bumpers at the end. It's the best racing out there, and you can get tickets right now. Visit TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega.
Clay Travis is the founder of Outkick. You see him on Fox at Clay Travis on social media. Clay, I don't envision you as being a huge NASCAR fan. I frankly am not either, but I love going to Talladega. Have you ever been to a race at Talladega?
I haven't ever been to Talladega, no. I've been to Bristol a few times, and I think that's it. I've been to the Indy 500. Obviously, that's not NASCAR. But I think Bristol is the only NASCAR race I've ever been to.
I've never been to Bristol. I can't imagine it holds a candle, people watching wise, to what you see at Talladega. I think you would love a Sunday race at Talladega, just one time. I've told people all the time, whether you're a NASCAR fan or not, if you've lived here any amount of time, you got to go to one Sunday race. It is a sight to behold, unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, we did the night race at Bristol, which was very cool. And then if you remember, Tennessee played Virginia Tech in the Bristol Motor Speedway I don't know, it's probably been almost a decade ago now. And so I was up for that as well, which was quite the scene. But yes, I've heard that that Talladega is a heck of a place to check out.
So how was the Travis household last night watching Michigan win their first national championship in 37 years? Your wife, Laura, a Michigan grad. Now, both of you guys, you met at Vanderbilt Law School. You both graduated from Vanderbilt Law School. So first of all, how was the setting there? Was it a big deal? And the other thing I was going to ask you, if Vanderbilt played Michigan, who would she pull for? And if Vanderbilt played George Washington, who would you pull for?
So she is like a fan in the best ways imaginable, where she gets no, disappointment from losses, but enjoys wins, which I think that there are relatively few of those people out there. So I wouldn't say she's fair weather, but it doesn't bother her when they lose that much, and she enjoys it when they win. So we actually had yesterday was my birthday, so we had some relatives and family over and whatnot. So we just had the game on, and she enjoyed it, but she wasn't going crazy or anything. We went. I think in general, football is something she cares about way more. So we went to the national title game a few years ago when Michigan beat Washington, and she was pretty excited for that. But in general, it was it was fun, but it wasn't over the top.
Well, happy birthday.
Yes, thank you.
You look great for a guy your age.
For a 60-year-old, yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but you look great for a guy your age. I made the comparison, and I've seen this in a couple of places. Dusty May is to college basketball what Curt Cignetti is to college football right now. Is there a comparison in your eyes to the two guys, or not really that much?
By the way, to answer your question before, I think we would both root for Vanderbilt over our respective alma maters because I think we have more affinity for Vanderbilt. Our son is going to be there this fall, and obviously we met there, not taking away anything from the undergrad. Look, I think Dusty May is look, one of the things that I think is going to be interesting to see as we continue in the event that there's not going to be any NIL rules put in place is how much of putting together a roster and having them be excellent is science and how much of it is art. And what I mean by that is, look at Kentucky. They spent money like crazy, probably more than almost anybody in the country, and the roster finished 9th in the SEC. I bet Michigan spent less than Kentucky, and they went 37-3. Now, is that attributable to there just being a way better sort of general manager structure in terms of the way the pieces were put in place at Michigan? Or was this just that's a, really fortunate outcome? And, if you go out and get 5 new starters in the transfer portal next year, the odds of that happening are minuscule, right? I think how much of this is gold and how much of it is fool's gold in the portal is going to be interesting, because to what extent does money dictate success? I don't know that it's going to necessarily. And I think that as long as we have basically, yearly free agency in college athletics, I think there's going to be a lot of test case scenarios for this. But for this year, May spun gold. We'll see if he can continue to do that in the years ahead as well.
Is it coincidence that in the transfer portal and NIL world, all of a sudden the SEC has lost its grasp on being the conference that would win the football and the basketball in the same year? Is there any reason you could put your finger on, Clay Travis, that in the NIL and transfer portal world, all of a sudden the Big Ten seems to have had a revival in athletics?
I think the easiest explanation is that everybody is paying now.
So you don't
Honestly.
whoa. You think before NIL, Ohio State and Michigan weren't paying players under the table?
Not the same level, I think, that what we saw from the SEC. Go back in time. If you remember the Nevin Shapiro story at Miami, which was the huge blockbuster, what was that? 20 years ago now? 15 years ago. It was a while ago, right? It didn't get a ton of attention, but Nevin Shapiro said the reason they took guys out on yachts and to strip clubs to try to recruit them and get them to go to Miami was because they couldn't compete with what the SEC schools were paying. So I think the simplest explanation is now that you have an open marketplace and everybody is paying and there is no restriction, that the playing field has gotten evened, and there were a lot of SEC schools that were paying substantially more for top players than other conferences and other schools, and now that's no longer the case.
That may have been the case at Tennessee. That wasn't the
I don't
case.
know.
It was not the case in our state. We've
I
been playing
think
by
Alabama,
been playing by the
Alabama
rules
and
for
Auburn.
years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of preachers who probably got bags of cash all over the South. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, my theory has always been, and this theory doesn't really stand up in basketball, but in football, my theory has always been everybody wanted to come to the South to get players. It's where the best players were. And Alabama and Auburn were going to tolerate one another cheating to a certain extent in Alabama, and Florida State and Florida, and Georgia and somebody, they were going to tolerate it to a certain extent, but they were not going to tolerate Ohio State coming in and cheating. So
I think there may be some truth to that. But look, I mean, whatever you want to say, do you think Indiana football was competing for Alabama for players?
No, but that's my point. They can come in now, and it's not cheating. They could come in and pay if they want.
No, but I mean, I don't even think Indiana was paying players, right? Like,
No,
I don't think
not.
they had
No.
the budget
No,
to
probably
pay
not.
any kind of significant. I mean, they never had any decent recruits for, the entire history of the program. And so I think now it's all above board. And I think what you're seeing is, look, the money is not evenly distributed. And we talked about this before, and I think this is one reason Nick Saban left. Ultimately, it's a mathematical equation. The mathematical equation is this: how many rich alums or fans do you have, and how many of them are willing to put real money on the table? Obviously, I don't think it's coincidental that Texas A&M, and Texas Tech are suddenly firing on all cylinders when it comes to elite talent, even on a level they didn't before. I think oil money is different than other money. And some donors are more comfortable paying for players than others. And so I think in that world, suddenly what you're finding is, I don't know, if you want to go to who has been historically pretty good, but may not have a huge fan base full of money. I mean, Kentucky, right? I think Kentucky has almost no chance to ever be good in football again. And I think the reason is they're going to allocate a lot of dollars to basketball, and they don't have a huge donor base that's going to pour a lot of resources into football. And so I think they're in trouble in a pretty significant way at Kentucky. Not that they've ever been truly elite in football, but I mean, they were winning 9-10 games a year under Mark Stoops, and suddenly the rug got pulled out from underneath them. I think there are going to be a lot of schools like that. South Carolina, I think, is going to struggle a lot, right? I could run through a bunch of different schools that I just don't think have the dollars to be able to compete at the big boy table. And I think you're going to continue to see that. Now, again, we started off this conversation with me saying money doesn't dictate success. But I do think the schools that the chance of winning a championship without spending a lot of money are basically zero now.
Clay, if we went back 20 years ago, I could almost guarantee if we had 100 sports media members and we got them to list their top 5 most dominant programs in sports, everybody would have Pat Summitt and the Lady Volunteers. I honestly didn't watch 5 minutes of women's basketball this year, but I find it fascinating. I saw Holly Rose sent something out, dogging out Danny White and what's going on with Lady Vol basketball. But I saw they're down to 1 player on their roster right now.
I thought it was 0, to be honest.
I think it ended up being 0. But I could be wrong.
It says,
and by the way,
Olivia Edwards decommits as Tennessee roster shrinks to 1. I just read that.
Yeah, Holly did delete that tweet, to be fair to her. Like, I think she read it. It's like, ooh, maybe this is a little too hard.
Well, anyway, with all that said, what has happened?
I don't know. I am not super plugged in on Lady Vol athletics. But I think the easiest explanation is they haven't hired very well at head coach. And look, Pat Summitt would still be coaching today, and I think she would have won several more national championships if she hadn't gotten Alzheimer's and early onset Alzheimer's at that. And I think, she got that in her 50s and died at a relatively young age, especially when you consider some of the coaches that are having tremendous success right now, the Rick Pitino's and Rick Barnes and Tom Izzo's of the world that are all 70 plus, I believe. And they haven't hired well since she left. And I think that's the simple answer. I think they're on coach 3 since Pat Summitt was forced to step down. They initially handed it off to her top assistant. That didn't work well. Then I think they went to an additional coach, and then they went to a new coach now. I think she just finished her second year. I think it's just as simple as coaching. It's funny. You get to be our age. You've lived through a lot of different narratives that have kind of emerged over the years. One of them was Tennessee basketball men can never be good because the women's basketball team is too good, right? Well, the men for the last 25 years have been really very, very good. I think one of the top 10-ish college basketball programs in the country. If you look at Sweet 16s, Elite 8s. I know they haven't won a national title or gone to a Final Four, but if you just look at number of Sweet 16s and Elite 8s, and it's like basically the Lady Vols have collapsed in the last. What did Pat Summitt die about 10 years ago, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, and so I think that's kind of the challenge we. Find ourselves in there. It's hard to replace a legend, and Tennessee has not done a good job of it.
What a dumb thing for people to say is that Tennessee's men and women couldn't be good at the same time.
Yeah, that was the argument.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Tennessee was not very good in the 80s and the 90s.
UConn's pretty good at both.
Yeah, I think UConn figured it out somehow, yeah.
Well, no, it is very funny. But, yeah, that was one of the arguments. Like, why can't Tennessee be good at men's basketball? Well, the women's basketball program is just too good, and Pat Summitt overshadows them. And all those different storylines, obviously, that's not true. You guys just pointed UConn out. But I remember that argument being pretty prominent in the 80s and the 90s when Tennessee was struggling before if you guys remember him, Jerry Green,
I do.
got to Knoxville, and Tennessee started to win, SEC championships and really kind of play at a high level in the early 2000s.
All right, he is Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, at Clay Travis on social media. You also see him on Fox. Clay, thank you for the time. Have a great week.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Clay with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Most NCAA sanctioned team of all time, program of all time, college athletics, according to Bleacher Report.
Most sanctioned team.
Most NCAA infractions. The record no team
now,
owns the whole.
Is this athletic department or is this like actual like football, basketball?
And this article was written in 2010, so we have to add on any since 2010.
Yeah, but it's slowed down a lot since 2010.
Florida football.
SMU.
Well, yeah, makes sense.
All in football.
Makes sense, yes. I mean, they literally shut the joint down.
I mean, that was like the Mason clan, or the, what am I looking for? Charles Manson.
Charles Manson, yeah.
Arizona State is second with 8, all in baseball, mostly baseball.
Baseball, wow.
Yeah.
Renegade program.
Third on this list, and this was through 2010, Auburn. Mixed bag, 7, mostly in football. Florida State, 4. Oklahoma, 7. Then Memphis, Texas A&M, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Wichita State.
Why do you bring this up?
Because Clay was talking about Southern football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of I was asking that because there's a lot of Southern schools on there. I don't know how many I think only read one Big Ten school.
Yeah, I do find it hard
Wisconsin.
to believe the Big Ten wasn't cheating.
Yeah, I just don't believe that.
Well,
I'm with you.
I mean, USC. We know USC.
Yeah.
We know recently Michigan, one of the biggest scandals of all time.
There's no doubt.
There's no punishment.
Yeah, Michigan's playing catch up.
I don't want to bring up Penn State and what they went through.
That was not recruiting in nature.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, all through the years. So I don't think it was SEC or Southern specific.
My theory does not stand up in basketball. Because you know my theory, I've said it many times, is that I think the SEC schools tolerated it among themselves because they all knew they were cheating. And if I bang the drum too loud against LSU, somebody's going to come looking at me, right? But by God, we are not going to let Ohio State come in here. And we'll all unify against that. Like Georgia, Alabama, LSU, they'll all say, Ohio State's not coming here. I may have to fight LSU behind the scenes for it, but I'm not fighting Ohio State too.
You keep using the word cheating. Are you cheating when you're driving down the interstate if you don't get caught?
Yes.
I don't
You
think-
mean
I
if
don't
I'm
think you are.
speeding?
Yeah, I don't think you are.
So, but you don't think you're speeding if you're exceeding the speed limit? Whoa. Answer my question,
I
sir.
don't, no.
So if you're exceeding the speed limit, you're not speeding
no,
unless...
I'm driving safely with the other traffic.
So you're not speeding unless a state trooper hits you with a gun.
If I get a
and that's
ticket,
the only time you're actually
then
speeding.
I'm speeding.
If they never find the body,
did you commit a murder?
Did you kill somebody?
Did I?
I mean, speeding is a little different.
Did I?
Yeah, speeding and murder. We accelerated quite quickly there, Tyler.
All I'm saying is that
I feel like everybody speeds at least one time a day if you drive, right?
100%. I speed probably every time I drive.
Yeah. So when do you usually get pulled over when you're speeding?
If I'm out by myself and I pass a cop.
Yeah, if you're not safely driving in the flow of traffic.
If I'm in the pack, I'm generally not going to
Normally,
get pulled
it's
over.
the bullshit going through Brantley where they take a snapshot of my tag,
but usually
which is cheating in itself.
If you're doing that, if you're endangering other people,
Or if I'm out in front of the pack all by myself.
if you're violating the code of the road.
Yeah. But your argument that you're not speeding unless you get caught is a poor argument.
I'm driving safely oftentimes when I'm above 70 miles an hour on the interstate if there are 7 cars around me who are all doing the same exact speed, then I am just staying up with the flow of traffic. I'm endangering. How many times are you driving down the road and somebody who's doing 60 on the interstate almost causes more accidents than the person who's doing 79.
Well, I mean, honestly, when's the last time you sent a text when you were driving?
I don't do that. As you guys get my text all the time, and those that are listening who get texts from me, I am the worst texter in the world because I Bluetooth when I'm riding down the road, and with my southern accent and my Yankee Bluetooth, they don't coincide sometimes, so you'll get misspellings and
Jim's will you
and
sometimes
it'll ramble on because I'm just talking riding down the road sending it to you.
I try not to, but I still do it.
I don't send texts riding down the road.
Do you ever do it, Brown?
I mean, this is if you're riding with me, this is it. Hey Siri, text Ryan Brown.
Yeah, and it's every text too. Like Jim will get a text and like the music will be playing and we got to stop to respond. I text like
no. Tell Ryan that he's done a really good job on the show today making me look good. Thank you.
Done. At a
See,
rate.
I do that so much that she knew it.
I just got this text.
But you'll do what I probably do,
At a
right?
red light.
You'll see a text.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, that's not that important. But if you see a text that you feel like is more important.
If it's my wife or my daughter or something like that.
And you're going to be on the road for 30 or 45 minutes.
I got to look.
Yeah.
Now, having the Apple Watch helps a little bit. I do feel it's a little bit safer just to glance down at it.
Does it not pop up on your screen when you're riding down the road? I know it does. You've got a great Hoover Toyota.
The fact that I have a text does, but
all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri, read my text."
But I never do the voice to text.
I don't do voice to text.
Yeah, ever.
But if I'm using Apple CarPlay, will it show the actual text?
I think it will. Yeah.
No, not if you're moving. But all you have to do is say.
But will it read it to me?
Yeah, it'll read it to you 100%. That's what I do all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it set up. I mean, I can get it set up where I can watch YouTube TV driving down the road.
You can. Now that is dangerous.
The show being brought to you by our friends at Crane U. If you're like a sportscaster and you want to one day be a crane operator, they can help you out. Lance gave it a try. You'll see video of that coming up. Just great folks here at Crane U.
They really are.
Would you text while doing that?
I would not text while operating the heavy machinery that is the crane, but get the crane training you need today. If you call 855-CRANE-U, whether you're talking to Nicole or Francis, make sure you mention the next round. 10% off all the great services. Our friends at Crane U offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, the team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make the job easier, job site safer. Crane U also offers certification, safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes are available monthly, so call 855-CRANE-U or visit them at craneu.com.
Oh, no, the NCAA tournament is expanding. We'll talk about that in the next segment. Speaking of expanding, prostate health, so important to you guys as you age from 20s to 30s, 30s to 40s. They'll take care of you at Urology Centers of Alabama. A good weekend for vasectomy coming up this weekend. Make your appointment to sit back and watch the Masters. 205-930-0920, Urology Centers of Alabama.com, the website. 70 years of compassionate care. Prostate health to kidney stones, vasectomies, testosterone treatment, you name it, they'll take care of you. Men and women, too. See everything they offer right there at their 10 great locations in Central Alabama. Urology Centers, Alabama.com. Urology Centers, Alabama.com.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representations made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of my lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
This spring, make it a week the whole family will remember. The Regions Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, returns to Greystone for championship golf and family fun. Watch legendary players compete, enjoy activities for all ages, and experience the excitement on and off the course. Don't forget to stop by Hole 10 following play on Saturday for a live concert featuring Blues Traveler. This is a week you don't want to miss. April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Back with you on the next round as we roll on 16 days to the NFL draft. Are you excited about the draft, Lance?
I am excited about the draft, and it's the fascinating thing, really, not just because we originate from Birmingham and we cover a lot of Alabama sports, is Ty Simpson. I heard this morning multiple people saying they don't believe he's going to go in the first round because they just don't think there's a suitor that wants to take him in the first round.
I do think he's the most fascinating part of the draft, partially because of, our buddy Dan Orlovsky has been very passionate about him being the second best quarterback, and maybe not actually him being the best quarterback, and should be the first guy taken. And I think because of ESPN's power and Dan's popularity, I do think that has become an interesting storyline in this draft for people that don't give a rip about Alabama football just because of what this has become.
Yeah, look, and
he's a quarterback.
As a big NFL guy, and, you know, the Rams selecting early based on the James Pierce Atlanta trade last year, that's fascinating to me. But outside of that, like, if you don't have a team in the hunt, you're not a big NFL guy, this draft seems kind of boring because you know Mendoza's going to go one.
Because it's a bad quarterback draft. Yeah. I mean, that's why it's boring. It's a bad quarterback draft. I think the drafts more people get excited about, maybe like next year. I think a lot of people think next year is going to be a good quarterback draft.
To me, the two fascinating things are where does Ty Simpson go and where does Jeremiah Love go?
And how many Ohio State players go in the top 10 in the first round? I mean, you could have a lot in the top 10. We just saw on the NFL Network, they had Ty Simpson there, Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier, others making a move in the quarterback. But will Ty be a first-rounder or not a first-rounder? And you wonder if he is not a first-rounder, if he made a mistake on going early. Should he have hung around? But it's going to be crowded next year.
It's going to be really crowded next year. And I still think, I don't know where you guys fall on this, and I know it's kind of fluid with all the conversations you hear around the league. I still think he's going to go in the first round.
I do too. I don't think NFL teams, it's just against their DNA to let the second best quarterback fall out of the first round. Like at some point somebody will be like, we got to draft a guy. If he is, in fact, the second best quarterback, that it's almost against NFL and front office DNA to let that guy out of the first round.
I have heard that both Sean McVay and Les Snead really like Ty Simpson with the Rams.
Yeah, I could see people, I know the Rams have a couple picks too in the first round.
They had to. They traded one for Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, for the big DB.
But they would trade back in that scenario. But, I mean, you probably could trade 25 to 32 and probably still get him.
Yeah, or somebody's going to trade in and jump up to get him. All right, NFL draft 16 days in. Where are we this year?
Pittsburgh. Kids are getting out of school. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I think Thursday and Friday. And part of the reason is they think the downtown is just going to be so overrun with Steelers fans and just other draft people that I think it's Thursday and Friday. They're both out of school.
Since Nashville, that's the way it's been.
Yeah, it has been. This has been a great idea by the NFL to take the draft to these NFL cities and hold it outside. I mean, they've packed Pittsburgh, they've packed Detroit, they packed Nashville, Detroit, Green Bay. They'll pack Pittsburgh. Steelers fans.
So Boston and Detroit traditionally have been those like all sports towns that are great. But everybody I've talked to is like Pittsburgh is the most underrated sports town out there. And we know their love for the Steelers.
Yeah, so it'll be a huge crowd. I don't know what the setup is going to be like, but it'll be a huge crowd down there.
We always talk college football at least one moment during every show. And we'll jump right back into that as I remind you that our friends at Innisfree, our countdown to kickoff is at 144 days to week 0. And our countdown to kickoff, your game day tradition, is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and in Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere at Innisfree. The Innisfree countdown to kickoff is at 144.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by Alexander Shinara, Shinara.com. Alexander Shinara trial attorneys. You know by now that they will handle your personal injury claims. What you might not know is they will also handle bad drug and device claims, storm damage claims, workers' compensation, a host of other claims, employment claims. Right there at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case either. Shinara.com. Shinara.com. They've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients, including many in the community of Birmingham. That's Alexander Shinara's home. He takes care of his hometown. Shinara.com. Shinara.com.
All right, so let's go LSU first. Help me with the pronunciation, Forrester, of Prince Wells' last name, the edge rusher who came in.
Umali Million, I believe is how you say it. I'm not Forrester, but
Uman Mielen.
Yeah. This is him as spring football churns down in Baton Rouge with Lane Kiffin. And he says, when asked about the rebuild, this
ain't no first year build thing. We trying to go all the way. So if that's the mindset, you got a building mindset that this ain't the place. We trying to go all the way. So that's our mindset right now.
Okay, now there's a reason why that conversation has popped up. According to insiders and one booster talking to Ross Dellinger, the amount set aside for Lane Kiffin to spend on NIL when he got there was 25 to 30 million. And then Lane, as this one booster said, convinced us, why not win in year one? And that's when they went over the 40 million mark with it. So Lane Kiffin, according to people that are covering LSU football, can't sit back after year one and say, hey, it's going to be a slow build, man. We gotta be patient here. It's going to be a slow build. There's no grace for Lane Kiffin. He convinced them to go from 30 million to over 40 million with the phrase, why not win year one?
Why not? You know, I mean, if you can do it, you've got an established coach, you got an established quarterback coming in, and I mean, with those numbers, probably the highest paid roster. I don't know anymore.
Them in Texas will be the highest paid rosters in the SEC.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ohio State will be right there in the mix. But if I'm an LSU fan, my expectation is not only get to a college football playoff, but to make a deep, deep run. I mean, you look at what Ole Miss was able to do last year.
I mean, I like the attitude. Why not win now, right? If I've got 30 million and that's a build, but 40 million can win now, I know this sounds stupid. Let's go find another 10 million. I mean, it's hard to do, right? But why not win now? And I do think, I mean, they have got a fascinating September. They really do. I mean, Clemson at home, which they should be, you know, obviously a better team than Clemson. They're going to be favored double digits in that game, in fact.
Can you imagine, though, if they started 0-3?
Well, they can't. They got Louisiana Tech. It'd be 1-3.
But 1-3.
But at Ole Miss, if they start 0-3, Lance, it is going to be a disaster because they've lost a lot of Tech. But at Ole Miss and Texas A&M, I mean, those obviously at Ole Miss will be an incredibly difficult
see, I'm looking
game.
at a schedule right here that doesn't have the La Tech. I just saw Clemson, Ole Miss, A&M. I'm like, it's a tough start.
Yeah, it's a tough SEC start.
But if you're 2-3. And you beat Kentucky, you're 3-3. You beat Mississippi State, you're 4-3. Now you're 4-3.
It's a disaster.
And you finish with Auburn, Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, and Arkansas.
Yeah. No. If I think, I can't remember the first one you said, 2-3.
Yeah.
You're already at disaster.
2-3 going.
Let me ask you guys.
You played 5 games, you're at disaster already.
With that schedule, 9-3 is very doable. Do you think there is anybody on the committee that would be like, you know what, they're 9-3 and he had $40 million this team doesn't deserve? You think there will ever be that mindset where there are individuals, because we're human, and there's people that don't like Lane Kiffin, and they're like, damn, he spent $40 million and he lost 3 games? We're not putting him in.
I'm trying to remember the coaches on that. I know Gus is now on the committee.
Yeah, and so is Jeff Tedford.
Jeff Tedford, yeah.
Because I said this yesterday, Brownie. I'm going to say it again here and let you finish your thought.
Sure.
In my gut, I really do feel like either Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M, or Texas will be 8-4 this year. Maybe 7-5.
I'm glad you've built in half the conference now.
Yeah, it would be comical if it's LSU.
I mean, you can find 4 losses. Though,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can find 4 losses.
I don't know how good Clemson's going to be. I don't know how good Ole Miss is going to be. I feel good that A&M's going to be really good again this year. I think Alabama's going to be good. I think Texas is going to be good.
This will be the most talked about game in the preseason is LSU at Ole Miss. So we'll talk about this game a lot. So, April 7th here, I'll go ahead and say this, and I'm sure I'm going to say it again. So when I say it again and Jim says you've already said that, everybody can remember it was April 7th.
Yeah.
I had rather be LSU in that game than Ole Miss, not just because of the roster. The amount of pressure playing at home, and we've talked about this before, and we always reference the game of the century.
LSU at Alabama.
LSU at Alabama.
For those that don't know what that is.
And you would almost always say, I want to play those games at home, but sometimes being the road team in those situations is actually the advantage. Because you're at home, it's excruciating pressure on you to win that home game. The road team gets to play the us against the world card. They get to rally. They're removed from all the pressure. All the pressure in that game's on Ole Miss. It's almost an advantage for LSU to play that game at Oxford and go and get it out of the way week 3. The excruciating amount of pressure there'll be on Ole Miss in that game, and Pete Golding specifically, that is not something I would want to sign up for.
Controversial bracket talk in basketball coming up in the 11 o'clock hour with our 4 downs. That's hour 3 if you're listening or watching us on replay, Apple and Spotify at Next Round Live everywhere. We appreciate likes and subscriptions there. Before we get to one more college football note, I remind you our show is being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, the folks that helped LT as close as he's ever been, turn into a fighter pilot.
205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call. Stop procrastinating. If you've thought about LASIK, at least make the call. Get the hassle-free consultation. Make sure you ask for Amy and find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, conveniently located, UAB Highlands. Make the call that I made back in 2003. Still have the 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
The belief is that the 5 most expensive rosters in college football this year will be Texas, Texas Tech, Miami, LSU, and Oregon.
I mean, look, those are established programs now in today's NIL world, and if I'm one of those guys or one of those fan bases, I fully expect those teams to make deep runs in the college football playoff, and they all can't make deep runs.
If we were doing our projected playoff field, though, would you have all 5 of those in right now? If we just
one more time.
Texas, Texas Tech, Miami, LSU, and Oregon.
I think I would definitely have Oregon and Texas, your bookends.
Texas
Tech, Miami, and LSU.
Texas Tech winning the Big 12.
I mean, I feel
Brendan Sorsby's the quarterback.
Yeah, I probably would.
I think I would. Miami, again, it's almost we forget that Miami basically got an 11th hour pardon from the governor just to get in last year's playoffs.
Yeah, but I would say this. They've got an upgrade at quarterback. They really do.
Mensa from Duke.
And you liked Beck.
Yeah, I liked Beck.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to get, and I'll say this a million times, you're going to get more Cam Ward-like with Mensa than what you got. So you're going to get better quarterback play. The roster, I mean, the defensive front, you're losing a lot.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I would bet against all 5 of those making it. That's the smart play. But if I were doing my bracket right now, chances are I'd have all 5 of those in.
40 and 40 is not that far away. Cut 7, Tyler. People in new places. The portal's open in basketball today, but people have moved through the only portal in football. There's not one coming up. And there are some familiar faces in new places. Texas A&M has started spring football. Alabama will recognize the name, Alabama fans, Isaiah Horton and Wilkin Formby. I thought Formby was growing in to a serviceable offensive lineman. And then and now you have a new offensive line coach, maybe with some new schemes that maybe would have worked better with Formby. Isaiah Horton was not dynamic, but a serviceable, good receiver. Both of them are at Texas A&M now, and they were asked at SEC Media Days, at Texas A&M Media Days, their spring football availability, about leaving Alabama. Isaiah Horton first.
I believe in Coach Elko's the culture he's building here. I believe in Marcel Reed. He's a guy from my hometown. We grew up together. I believe in him with all my heart, and I just believe in this program, and I just believe in this culture.
Playing for Alabama, you would kind of watch different teams while you're watching film. We would play similar teams that A&M would play, and I would see their offensive line getting after people. And so I had to make a decision that's best for me, where I'm going to develop the most. And I feel like Coach Cush has done a great job. His track record speaks for itself as far as developing players. And so I needed to take a next step in my game, and I feel like coming here is really going to do that. I didn't really want to, but I knew that this was right. And I had a lot of reasons to stay, but there was also a lot of good reasons to leave. So it was a tough decision, but I graduated from Alabama. I started there for a couple of years, and it's a special place to me, and it's always going to be a special place to me.
I mean,
Great answer from Wilkin
It's
Formby,
fantastic
by the way.
answer. We see these guys where we talk about all the time, oh my God, are they taking a shot at their former place? He did none of that.
Isaiah Horton's in his third school, 3 years, and he's going to play with his hometown guy who's quarterback, and he's really good.
Yeah.
No problem with that one either.
Yeah. But Formby, for him to say, and listen, Wilkin Formby, it was a complicated relationship with Alabama fans. He's a local guy. I think they wanted to like him, but, it's just complicated.
Yeah. It looked bad on national TV one time against USF in the home game.
That's right. And
since then, it was 62 holding penalties, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was one every other play.
Yeah. But since that night, he got better and better and better.
He did.
Apparently, with an offensive scheme and coach that was not fantastic.
Yeah. I was about to say, the only remote criticism of that entire soundbite from Wilkin Formby was a criticism of Alabama's offensive line coaching. Well, that guy got fired. So, I think your head coach told you that the offensive line coaching wasn't up to par. For him, and the only thing I'm saying is for him to say, when I would watch it on film, their offensive line gets after it, is essentially saying ours doesn't.
Yeah, and that's what kind of jumped out to me. Like, okay, you guys are watching offensive lines that get after it. Why don't you guys get after it?
And I think that would be Alabama fans' response to that. Well, the offensive line coach got fired. So, I think Kalen DeBoer told you the offensive line coach wasn't getting after it. He had to fire the guy.
Kalen DeBoer on the show, scheduled to be with us live tomorrow, 11 Central. That's hour 3 on Wednesday's show. Kalen DeBoer, head coach Alabama, leading into A-Day weekend coming up. More college football right here. Those two guys left. Neither one of them were first or second team all-conference. From Bleacher Report, percentage of first and second team all-conference players who don't go to the NFL that stay at their school, Big Ten and SEC, compared to the ACC and Big 12. Okay, so I'll say it again. You have first or second team all-conference players that do not go to the NFL. They stay at their school in the Big Ten and the SEC, where they were first or second team all-conference, or they leave to go to another school. The difference in percentages, I want you to react to this. In the Big Ten and the SEC, 97.4% of those players who are first or second team all-conference in those leagues, Big Ten and SEC, stay with their school. They don't go to another team. In the ACC and Big 12, that number is only 56%.
It's not surprising.
You have all-conference ACC and Big 12 players who are first or second team all-conference, 1 out of every 2 going basically to another school to play football.
Yeah, a couple of reasons. I mean, first of all, you're not going to win national championships consistently at any level in ACC or Big 12. So if you want to win championships, you want to go elsewhere. And those leagues can't pay the money. They just don't have the resources of the SEC and the Big Ten. So that's not surprising to me.
I don't know if Mensa was first or second team, but he is of that ilk at least, even if he wasn't. And there he is. Now, he goes to another ACC team.
But he's not on his former team.
But he left Duke to go somewhere else.
And I think what this shows you is the money schools, they're poaching the high-end players from the Big 12 and the ACC. They're poaching the stars from the group of 5 teams. They just can't compete. But they're able to still get high-end players from the ACC and the Big 12 if you're a big-time SEC and Big 10 school. And again,
that's a massive number, 56%.
That's a huge number. It's every other player.
Yeah. That's of your first and second team all conference.
But it's not just the every other player number. It's the number that stay at their SEC and Big Ten school. What was that, 97% you said?
97.4%.
So you're almost, if you're a big-time SEC school, you're almost never having to replace your best players.
Yeah, your first or second team all conference guys.
Yeah, you're replacing guys that go to the draft or guys that just, we missed on recruiting. He did not work out. We need somebody new at that position.
Yeah, so I thought that was an interesting number there. A couple more things in college football before we get to the top of the hour, being brought to you by our friends at Gutter Cap. LT, tell us about the great folks at Gutter Cap.
Cap it, don't snap it. It's a dirty, dangerous job. Rain will be obviously rolling in. April showers. You want to keep the gutters clean and free flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. Patented aluminum cover system fits over most existing gutters. Will keep everything out except the rainwater. It's dirty. It's dangerous. You don't want to get on the roof. You slip, fall, snap the neck, and die. No good to the wife or kids. Call Chris Stewart today for an absolutely free estimate, 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Listen, I don't want to throw this into the Big Ten over the SEC because of they've got more money to spend scenario, but it does look peculiar. 5-star cornerback A. Hall, 6'1", 195, 5-star cornerback, yesterday picked Oregon, Big Ten, over Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. What is surprising about this is that he is a 5-star cornerback going into his senior year at Dothan High School in Dothan, Alabama.
I mean, Oregon has done a hell of a job of getting into the South and getting a lot of these guys out.
Boy, do you know how big a pain that is to recruit that kid from Eugene, Oregon? How many times you got to fly down here and visit that kid?
Well, not only that, on that side, but think about that kid if you're his family and you actually want to see him play in person.
Yeah.
He just came back from a visit to Eugene where he spent 3 days. You don't go there just for a day and then drive somewhere else. You spend a little time, went to a couple of practices, fell in love with the place. So there's a pretty big recruit leaving Dothan, Alabama, not going to Auburn, not going to Alabama, not going down the street to Florida or Florida State or over to Georgia with Kirby or Texas.
He's going to win one really soon.
But when you,
Dan Lanning,
when you say though Lanning may end up back in the SEC, even though this is a success for him, this is one reason why. Like, do you know the effort you have to go to from Eugene, Oregon to recruit a kid to Dothan, Alabama? Or vice versa, to recruit a kid from Dothan, Alabama to Eugene, Oregon. The amount of effort that takes. Like, I mean, for Lanning just to make an in-home visit with a guy.
Oh, I know, but it is easier with Zoom. He's got a private plane.
That doesn't hurt, but still, I mean, that private jet, that is still a 4-hour flight, no matter how private that jet is.
And to quote the great American philosopher Will Wade, a strong-ass offer.
A strong-ass offer, yes. You got to have that, too.
Like, I guess it really depends on how important is California to their recruiting.
I mean, it's
because then you justify it. Like, if I'm going to come to Georgia, let's say, is California still going to be important?
Yeah. I mean, that is just, it is a lot of effort that Georgia and Alabama don't have to do to recruit that kid and most kids, because a lot of the kids come from the South.
I was going to point out that this is the second year in a row this has actually happened. Naeem Offord from Parker, who was a 5-star corner, is at Oregon.
Yeah, I would imagine you doubled up on those visits. You come visit Offord when he was a senior. Hey, and let's swing by Dothan, too, and see this junior that's down there.
So back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Brooks, I don't know if you've done this graphic yet, because you do so many of them, and I miss them occasionally. But if not, I saw this stat floating around, and I'd love your research on it to see if it is true. Undisputed. Now, this is what gets complicated, the word undisputed. So maybe we should go back to, the start of the BCS, or maybe 1980, something where you can get an undisputed either AP or coaches poll or BCS, but undisputed multiple national championships in college football and college basketball. What I saw last night was there are only 3 schools, and I think only 2 of them are in modern day football. Michigan, Michigan State, and Florida are the only one with the 3 with multiple, so 2 or more in both men's basketball and football. So Michigan State, I don't remember them winning one since they shared one in 66.
That's their last one.
So I throw them out. So in modern day college athletics, Michigan and Florida are the only ones with multiple championships in both men's basketball and college football.
I cannot think of another one that would even qualify.
Somebody from the AP, like with the Associated Press, I saw post that about 10 hours ago on X. So,
yeah, that may have been what I saw. I'd love to attribute it to somebody.
He said AP national champions. So multiple AP national champions was just Florida and Michigan. So I'm going to assume Michigan State has not won multiple AP football.
Yeah.
Their last football was 66, so I don't know.
And it was a split title, I want to say.
With Notre Dame was in one poll, which probably was the AP.
I'm sure Notre Dame won the writers' poll. Yeah. I mean, they almost
Michigan
had to.
State won the coaches' poll, probably.
Yeah.
That was the tie when Alabama was the only untied team in the country. But I just thought that was interesting that hasn't happened more, that there's not multiple 2. And that's going to change, I feel like, because we're becoming so Big Ten SEC heavy.
Well, in fact, you know who's right on the doorstep to do it right now is Indiana. I mean, Bob Knight won.
Yeah, so they got to win another football.
They just got to win. I mean, got to win another football, but I mean.
And most people don't think they will.
No, most people don't think they will, but they got a good product going right now, but they've got the basketball handled. They just got to win one more football, and they will be the craziest inclusion into that stat in history if you go back 5 years.
When we come back, why it may or may not be easier to win a basketball one, and is it possible that Auburn is the last champion of the NIT ever? Why that could be a possibility. We'll talk about that in the next segment. Show being brought to you by One Man in a Toolbox. Boy, that room continues to get better looking every day over there.
Yeah, we are piecing it together, but One Man in the Toolbox, so pivotal in the work that they've helped us do. One Man in the Toolbox, they perform handyman services for homes, commercial properties, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, surrounding areas. When you call and talk to either Jessica or Jay, any of the fine folks there, make sure you mention the next round, $25 discount for the first hour of service. They do regular repairs, maintenance, also small project renovations and updates. They've got multiple technicians with different skill sets, and they can tackle most any item in your home. Call for the free estimate today, 205-823-2111. That's 205-823-2111 or onemanandatoolbox.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, Let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Greystone. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, is bringing championship golf April 29th through May 3rd. Watch the game's biggest names battle it out for one of the most prestigious titles on the tour. Experience the atmosphere, the excitement, and a full week of entertainment. This is the week golf fans love. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team in our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Go by and see Sterling, Megan, the whole crew down there. They'll take care of you. They'll treat you like family. That's kind of atmosphere he's cultivated down there in that beautiful building he's been a part of for 11 years now, just off Highway 119 in Alabaster. I tell you all the time this time of year, if you're heading down to the beach, before you get into the traffic, down past the Shelby County Airport on your way to Montgomery, down to the beach, swing off that Alabaster exit and enjoy a destination lunch location. Great Southern fried chicken, cooked to order, brined overnight, juicy down to the bone. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, great way to start the meal out. The in-house made sides, that coleslaw is so good. The hand-cut chicken fingers are huge. They're all fantastic. Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. I had a chance yesterday Taco Mama, friend of the show, longtime supporter of the show. We go by there a lot. Maggie finished her last class, so she is all done everything but walking graduation. And I said, let's go get her drink. But we didn't want to get dressed up. We were in casual clothes. We'd been out tooling around all afternoon. And so we ran and got the blood orange margaritas, which are back at local Taco Mama there.
Yeah, I had one last week. Fantastic.
Did you go to the one down by our house, or were y'all at a different
the
one?
one right next to New York Butcher Shop.
Yeah. That's a good spot right there. I like it when the weather's nice enough for them to throw the doors.
Garage
the garage
door was
doors open.
We were watching the pregame show, and Tracy Wilson was talking to all the people as they were entering the arena.
Those are my two favorite. Is the blood orange, and then we will go into the seasonal watermelon.
Yeah.
Yeah, when does the watermelon one come back?
That was back in the spring or early summer, right?
It will be, watermelon season. So blood orange is about to run out, which is fantastic. Probably mid-May. But do the spicy watermelon.
Yeah, they're
very,
spicy.
very good.
Their spicy's really good.
Do you eat the actual slice of blood orange they throw?
Yep, sure do.
I do too.
Yep,
I do too.
And I'm not a big orange guy. Like I don't seek out an orange and eat an orange on a but I don't eat an orange once a year.
Do you know oranges are to me like boiled shrimp. I love them, but if they're not already peeled, I'm not gonna. If you take me to get boiled shrimp, I'm not gonna sit there and peel shrimp or crawfish.
That's why you want cuties. The little
like
cuties.
a wife.
No, I used to bring the cuties to work. Remember, I exploded one on our glass.
Yeah, I guarantee you it's still there at Jack's. Lance threw one to see if he could make it explode.
I don't understand crawfish. Our buddy Roney had a crawfish bowl on Sunday.
Oh, is that where you went?
Yeah.
Because we were invited to another one.
And so many people are sitting there digging for the smallest amount of meat.
Crawfish, the juice not worth the
Now,
squeeze.
I do like the potatoes, the corn, the sausage.
I like everything in it but the crawfish.
I eat all of that and whichever crawfish that Maggie peels for me. Because I'm horrible at it, and she's fantastic with her fingers, and it's off. She's done it for her whole life.
That's
Same
why
way
you
with
got to
shrimp.
go with the gumbo. It's already just
I
all
love
mixed
gumbo.
together.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
But have you ever been eating gumbo and you get a little shell?
Yep. But I kind of like that though because that tells me no.
I know it's fresh.
It tells me how fresh it is.
Yeah, I get a little eggshell sometimes in an omelet too. I don't like either. You know, if you ever just a little flake of eggshell gets in there, same.
No,
same
I don't
feeling
like that.
For me.
I don't like that. But a little shell and some gumbo, I can work around because I'm like, that means it was fresh gumbo. I mean, that stuff was shelled.
All right, big discussion time before we get to our Final Four. Michigan wins the national championship last night first. Let's go cut to Dusty May, Tyler, if you can. Last night was anything but a perfect game for Michigan. They were clicking 90 points, beating everybody double digits. They win by 6. They only score 69, but it was a championship performance in Dusty May's eyes.
Early in games, we can tell how the game's being played. And so then we talk about how we have to adjust and we have to figure out solutions based on how they're guarding us and all the things. We actually thought the basket would open up a little bit in the second half. We felt like we were going to make shots in the second half. We generated, I think there were 2 threes in the first half that we didn't really love those attempts, and you're not going to love them all. The rest of them we thought were really good offense, and the ball just didn't go in. And so we're trying not to result in all that we do and just stay with the process and evaluate the contributions and how it felt. And so then early in the second half, the game got a little bit chippy and physical, and so we thought this is going to be a game we just have to figure it out. We started going offensive, defensive early, offensive, decent substitutions early, and UConn was dominating us on the glass. Credit to them; they were as motivated and determined as any team we played on the offensive glass. But we did feel like we were defending well enough that we were going to be able to find enough baskets.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't going right. The testament of a championship team. And then there's cut forward Dan Hurley, a guy who never had that explosion during the game that everybody was waiting on. He never had his Hurley moment, never got a technical, never really complained that much to the officials. Seemed to be in a good mood.
He didn't headbutt anybody.
Stupid challenge with the elbow, though.
Yeah. Well, you did. I mean, you saw this, and the guy did come back, and there was a little contact there, but it wasn't with the elbow. It was just him, creating his own personal space, his cylinder, if you will. The guy got into his cylinder.
If he never wins another one, I'll be okay with it.
Dan Hurley, yeah.
I almost had a 4 downs question on that last. I know you've already written your 4 downs question, but more total national championships, Ryan Day or Dusty May? I think it is a interesting discussion.
Interesting discussion. We can discuss it after we hear Dan Hurley talk about.
Funny you say that.
Oh, sorry. It was a 4 downs question. Skip it, Jim.
Here's Dan Hurley.
Obviously, for us, it's tough. Again, we did not come here for watches. We came here for rings, and it's hard to be. I'm not real emotional. Players are crying a lot more than I am. It's hard to be upset with your team. We lost the game because we missed. We missed. We didn't make enough shots. But it's hard to be upset with your team when they get 22 offensive rebounds versus that team. I mean, that's just how hard we just played to hold, that team to 38% from the field. But obviously, I just thought, the guys picking up 2 fouls in the first half, losing those 3 guys when we thought had a great chance going to the locker room with the lead, really put us in a bad spot. But it's hard to be disappointed in your team when they fight so hard.
And I would say that, too. When you watch some games, I think Dan Hurley got as much out of this UConn team as he possibly could get out of this team, right?
I mean, how many guys – like, I had them in the Final Four, and, look, I lost the bracket challenge, so it's not a big deal. But I'm saying, how many times did you see him in the Final Four? Like, there wasn't a lot of people that had him in the Final Four. I didn't see anybody having UConn winning this whole thing. So – it's almost like it was an off year for UConn. They still won 34 games, and they played for a national championship.
I mean, they're so hard to kill, too. I mean, ask Duke.
Yeah.
It's just
even last night. I mean, there were times you're like, oh, it's 9. Here we go.
Yeah,
Here
and
we
then
go.
they would slowly climb back in, cut it to 4.
And I was sitting at Kalshi, promo code TNR. I was like, I'm about to slide this up and get some good odds and hit Michigan at minus 16.5 or 17.
Yeah. He later on was actually given an opportunity to bash the officials and did the exact opposite. Even called the officials out by name and said, those are the best there are. This was a really difficult game to officiate because of style of play.
All-star crew.
And he even said this, and this is crazy coming from Dan Hurley. He said, if you told me I had those 3 officials every game the rest of my life, I'd sleep well every night. Which, for Dan Hurley to say that about officiating, I think a lot of people in the room are surprised.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and I think when you've got the most out of your team that you can sleep well at night. Dan Hurley did that.
And they did everything they needed to win that game except win the game. I mean, we showed the graphic. You held a Michigan team that, was on pace to score the most points in this tournament's history. You hold them to, way below their average at 69 points. You out-rebound them. Their 2 best players in Yaks and Mara combined for 21 points. I mean, really, you did everything you needed to do except win the game.
You did all those things, and Jim and I were actually discussing this before you got here, Lance, in studio. You did it to Illinois, too, and with all due respect to UConn's defense, which was tremendous, I think some of this is venue. I think we get bad offensive games a lot in these big football venues in the Final Four. And I don't want to say that it had nothing to do with UConn's defense, far from it. But Illinois is a pretty dang good shooting team, and they couldn't throw it in the ocean in the first half of that game against UConn. That can't all be UConn's defense.
Well, I'm sure you guys saw where they brought goals out to the big house and shot outside.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great coaching. Take advantage. I got $1 million idea that one day I'm going to share with a basketball person, and hopefully it's not created before I get it to Nate Oates. I told him on the show 2 years ago, and I haven't got it to him yet. Got to get it to him.
I'm sure with the portal open right now, he will take your phone call, Jim.
Yeah. All right. Before we do 4 downs, the question that Brownie just brought up about who has more national. Oh, it's in the 4 downs.
Is it in 4 downs? Dusty May or Ryan Day, or did you have a
There
different?
is a Dusty May Ryan Day that is actually.
All right.
Then
let's do it.
Let's get to the show brought to you today by our friends at Hemp Hill. Before we do 4 downs, tell us about the fine folks at Hemp Hill Services that have been taking care of Birmingham, the trusted name since the 1950s.
Yeah, I was talking to our man Chad Rhodes earlier today. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, home or business, trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any and all of these issues. Call Chad, Andrew, Adam, all the guys, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And 4 Downs presented each day by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. When you're riding around on Alabama's roadways and you see the updated road projects going on, the major state, federal government, and municipal roadway projects, you better chance than not, you're seeing a crew from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction do those jobs. And it may tell you, well, that's great. They got more business than they shake a stick at. They can't do my little job. That is where you could not be further from the truth. They've got an entire division for driveways, parking pads, church parking lots, community center, store parking lots. And it's the same quality, same no excuse, same crews. It's everything you're getting in those bigger projects. You get it for the smaller ones, too. That's the way they do business. To get a quote on your job, 205-349-0910 or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Had it worded a little differently, but who wins their next national championship first?
Gotcha. Dusty May or Ryan Day?
Ryan Day or Dusty May?
It is thought traditional that it'd be harder to do in basketball than football, right?
Yeah, but I said this on whatever podcast I was on most recently, AL.com, that changes more and more every year.
I tend to agree with you.
Because in football, if you've got to bye, it's 3 wins now as opposed to 2. Used to be 1 if you got into the game. And soon it'll be you'll have to win 4 games when we go to 16. So it becomes a little more like it. But I do feel like it's still basketball, Brownie, because even after, no matter how good you are, even after you win that first one, you can be a 1 seed. All of a sudden it's 1 versus 8.
Yep.
And that's a good basketball game.
Yep.
And then it's 1 versus 4. So even if you're the best of the best, you're in competitive games, and there's still maybe a little bit more separation in that in football. So I'm still going to say basketball. I'm still going to say Ryan Day here.
I think Day will win the next one, but in my original question, I think I would say May wins more than Day. But I think Day will win the next one.
I would say Day too. But, boy, I think both of these programs, obviously, I don't think you can mess up. I mean, Ohio State's like a steel ball. You can't mess that up.
Why can't they win in basketball?
I don't know. It's I thought they had it dialed in early on 20 years ago with Thad Matta, but I have no idea.
I mean, they're not an everything school. I mean, when do you see Ohio State pop up?
It makes no sense.
It's like
either.
Texas in basketball, though. Texas never had success at a high level of basketball.
It makes no sense.
But it seems like Texas is more competitive than Ohio State is in basketball.
I would tend to agree with you.
Maybe it's just where I live, but it seems like they're on the radar more.
Ohio State had that one team that upset Auburn and went to the Final Four. Scooter Penn? Was that the guy's name?
Scooney Penn.
Scooney Penn,
and
yes.
Michael Redd.
Scooney Penn and Michael Redd, and Jim O'Brien was the head coach. That was Cliff Ellis, Chris Porter. They played up in Knoxville. You're probably at the game. Played up in Knoxville, covering the game for TV.
But Michigan, they're going to play for a frozen. They're in the hockey Final Four, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that.
They're not bad in baseball.
No, they've been good in the past in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, football, basketball, they seem to be in everything school.
Yeah, it does not make any sense. Ohio State basketball is a little bit to me like Georgia basketball. Like you guys are good. Like Georgia's really good in baseball. Every now and then they're great in football.
I mean, you take.
Why can you not be good in basketball?
Ohio has a lot of metropolitan areas. When you go with Akron and Toledo and Cincinnati and Cleveland and Columbus,
and you can't find 5 good players,
and you can't get 7 or 8 guys from in-state who can roll from big cities.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Second down.
The Barber brothers, Tiki and Rondé, 51 years old today. If I asked you better career, Tiki and Rondé or Matt and Kevin Dillon? So Kevin Dillon, got roles early on like Hamburger Hill and some random movies, but was Johnny Drama in Entourage.
Yep.
Matt Dillon, was borderline A-list actor for a long time. Hasn't done anything in a while.
I think I'll go Barber Brothers. Rondé is a borderline Hall of Famer. That's going to put you in.
Tiki would have been a borderline Hall of Famer if he wouldn't have retired so early.
Yeah, and was off to a really good media career until he tripped up on that one too.
I would go the Barbers.
Yeah, I think I'll go Barber family.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, Rondé with my Bucks.
He was fantastic.
Terrific.
When I say borderline Hall of Famer, I mean, he's not done as far as his ability to get in the Hall. I think he could.
He is in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he got in? Okay.
Yeah, he is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Far more than borderline.
There you go.
Yeah, he crossed the border.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Third down.
Jackie Chan, 72 years old. Better career, Jackie Chan or Kevin Hart?
They've been in movies together? Is
No.
that the tie? No.
You're thinking of Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah. I was thinking the same
Rush
thing.
Hour.
I was trying to.
Just a
drive-by on Kevin Hart?
No. Jackie Chan internationally is massive.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's going to be the answer here, and I was just wondering
I
your
don't-
opportunity to kick Kevin Hart.
No.
I mean,
I'm not a big Jackie Chan. He seems like a nice guy. I've never been in awe of his movies. Kevin Hart does terrible movies.
Like
but-
if you use your
Kevin Hart might be the best-selling comedian in the modern era.
Yeah.
But that being said, Jackie Chan, his scenes in Rush Hour 1 are funnier than anything Kevin Hart's ever thought of.
I mean, really, the only thing Kevin Hart's got to show for it is a bank account.
Really, if you try to kick Kevin Hart, if you use your normal kick to kick people in the balls, you'll be kicking Kevin Hart in the chin.
That is correct.
yeah.
Yes. Very short
the
guy.
height. I would say for me it's Kevin Hart because I enjoy. Isn't he sort of the guy in charge of putting those roasts on now? Like he's
in all of them.
Like I think it's his enterprise that he puts all these roasts on now, which is why he's so front facing for them all. The comedic career, like you said, acting, commercials, podcast, Kevin Hart for me.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to lean Kevin Hart just because he's got so much meat left on the bone. Jackie's got to be in his mid-70s, right?
Yeah, you say Kevin Hart's got a lot of meat left on the bone, but it's low-quality meat.
Still, you got to eat to keep from starving.
I mean, you can't.
I think he's a Nickelback to everybody. They're going to trash on Kevin Hart because other people are trash on Kevin Hart. I think he's more talented than y'all give him credit for.
I would say this, Jeeves. You turn on any football game you sit through, really any sporting event, you're going to see a Kevin Hart commercial.
He's marketable, obviously.
He doesn't say no to anything.
Yeah.
Whether it was, a credit card commercial, a terrible movie with The Rock, or hosting one of P. Diddy's parties.
Random dream I had over the weekend. I cannot explain this one. I'm with Charles Barkley, and he says, Brownie, I've got to record a quick voiceover for Capital One. Can you help me? And I say, sure, Chuck. So I help him record a voiceover at his house. We're at his house, right? And so I help him record a voiceover. And then when we send it, he goes, hang on, Brownie. And he sits down and opens his computer and updates the invoice. Like, to think that Charles would be himself invoicing Capital One. He updates the invoice and sends it to Capital One for what he just did. It was like, in my dream, it was like $28,000 for the voiceover I just helped him record.
I do like some of the Capital One commercials. I didn't realize how bad of a dancer Jennifer Garner is, but the Capital One guy that looks a little like John Smoltz back in the day, he was sitting kind of courtside on during the semifinals. I don't know if you guys noticed him in the crowd.
I noticed that.
And he had his little tag on his jacket.
Yeah, he didn't pay for that seat.
Yeah, that's our 4 downs?
No, third.
No, third down. One more.
Fourth down.
Russell Crowe, 62 years old today. Better Australian career, Russell Crowe or Nicole Kidman?
I think I'd go Russell Crowe.
He's got 2 Best Actor Oscars.
Gladiator might be one of the best movies ever made, but I see Nicole Kidman multiple times a week.
Well, and here's another thing with Nicole Kidman. Most women, 30, it's changed a little bit, crept up to 35, but her ability to be an A-list actress in Hollywood at this age, and not only the crossover from, a lot of people love to choose, I'm going to do TV, I'd rather do film, but I'm going to do some TV. She's able to do both at an extremely high level.
Yeah.
I think I would probably go Nicole Kidman as much as I love Gladiator.
I'm going to go Russell Crowe because of the 2 Best Actors you said, but I think Big Little Lies is coming back after a big layoff for a 3rd season, and they've got all the ladies back together. And I've never watched it, but this Lioness, is that the show she's in?
I watched first season. It was good.
It gets rave reviews. I've never watched it. I've always liked Nicole Kidman. But I'm going to go Russell Crowe.
And it's weird because she can play such a devious bitch, but she seems like she'd be really likable in real life, which is hard to pull that off.
Yeah, I feel like she'd be super sweet in real life.
Yeah.
Yep. Now that's 4 downs. Brought to you today in part by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. We'll talk about expanding the NCAA tournament after you tell us about New York Butcher.
I almost went last night. Instead, I went to see our friends at Walk-Ons, but boy, it was close. Now, I
tried to convince Maggie to just, after we had Taco Mama, to slide over there for that carrot cake you teased me about.
Oh, my gosh. Carrot cake's so good. All their food. It doesn't matter. Everything is made fresh in-house, from the fresh meats, the delicious sides. I mentioned the potatoes au gratin. That is a new item he's got there. The mashed potatoes, the mac and cheese, baked beans. And don't forget about those huge deli sandwiches for lunch or dinner. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Get in, see Jim and that great staff of butchers. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
All right, so it's going to happen. According to all reports, it could happen as early as this week. The NCAA is going to expand to 76 teams.
So dumb.
We're going to add 8 more at-large teams if it goes down as planned. And we're going to have 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, where 24 teams will play 12 games. 6 on one day. One day will be in Dayton. One day will be in a yet-to-be-named other city. And we'll have 2 days, and the 12 winners will feed into the other 52 teams. And from Thursday on, we will have the 64-team bracket you're used to. Be cool and be one of those office spaces that goes ahead, since you're going to have full day of action on Tuesday and Wednesday, and go ahead and have your brackets ready to go for Tuesday and Wednesday, because you're going to have 6 games on Tuesday, 6 games on Wednesday, and then a full day on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as we're used to. This
is so stupid. They have diluted the best 2 rounds of this tournament on Thursday and Friday.
First, the teams that are going to play in there, the lower seeds are going to eat up half of these extra spots. So 8 teams are going in. We're adding 8 at-large teams, but not all of those at-large teams are going to have to play on Tuesday and Wednesday. They're going to eat up some more of the 16 and 15 seeds and make them face off against each other to see who plays their way into the main tournament. And you'll have some of this year, Auburn, Oklahoma, Indiana, the first 4 out, will have to face each other in these games as well.
But all those 15s and 16s are going to be auto bids, right?
They're auto bids, and they'll be playing each other.
Right.
So it'll be a chance to win a tournament game before they get fed to the 1 seeds.
Yeah, get fed to the Wolves.
So the early games that you've seen 2 of in Dayton already, you likely will get 2 more of those. So you'll have 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, when it's just 16 versus 16, 15 versus 15.
So the 8 we add will all be at-larges, so they'll all be, in all likelihood, power conference teams.
Yes, Brown, to your point, the last 5 years, 15 of the 20 last 4 in have all been power conference teams, 15 of the last 20. This past year, 3 of the 4 that were left out were Oklahoma, Auburn, and Indiana.
So if you just go by KenPom and the next 8 in, I'm just going to give you the who would have been the next 8 in this year just based on KenPom, okay? This is your next 8 in that would be in the tournament now, or at least playing to get in the tournament. Auburn, I mean, they were the first out, so they would have been in, obviously. Oklahoma, who finished second in the crown. Auburn, who won the NIT. Oklahoma finished second in the crown. Cincinnati, Indiana, New Mexico, San Diego State, Baylor, Seton Hall, and according to KenPom, a 16 and 17 Washington team. I doubt that would have been them.
So San Diego State didn't get in the main tournament? They didn't? Okay.
So it might have been West Virginia, who was also in the crown.
Won the crown, yeah.
Won the crown.
Oklahoma, Auburn, Indiana were combined 23 and 33 in conference play.
That's who we're putting in.
And nobody finished higher than 10th.
That's right.
In their conference.
Yeah. I mean, that's who you're getting. I mean, that's – I guess what they're thinking, Lance, is that these playing games at least will get some better names in it. I mean, those are somewhat named programs.
But Auburn Auburn thought they deserved to be in.
They did.
Whatever you want to put into that, there was a case to make for Oklahoma.
Zero chance any of these teams can ever win a national championship.
I mean, I know.
It's just diluting the tournament. It's killing Thursday and Friday.
You do say, though, that, but we've seen
Final Four.
Dayton games make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, you've seen a couple of them.
VCU did it, right?
VCU did it. I think Syracuse did it. I think we've had 3 teams, 2 or 3.
Texas made it to the Sweet 16.
They did. Yeah, you've had some
they
teams.
won 3 games.
Still a long way off. Even getting to a Final Four, you got to win 2 more. I think it's diluting the tournament. I think it's really, really dumb.
But I also think what it's creating is, I'm going to try to pick Nate Oates is a bad example. Stephen Pearl is a bad example. I'm trying to think of a coach. I was just going to give you a coach and say, with this much leeway, can you ever see that coach missing the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, but who do you want to use?
I don't know. I was trying to think of
you
a good
want
one
to use Auburn just because they were the last team out?
I mean, Stevens in his first year, so I think I need to let that develop to see that he is the coach I think he's going to be, which I think he's going to be a good coach.
Well, I want to use Steven,
okay,
and here's why.
All right.
Because coaches want this. Why? Because this will be a job saver.
Yeah.
If I'm an Auburn fan and Auburn is one of these teams that's playing next Tuesday or Wednesday in the tournament, and I've got to miss work to watch that, and they lose one of those games, I don't even consider them getting in the tournament.
Well, I mean, I've said that for years, and y'all used to scoff at me about it.
You got me out of work to watch us lose, and you were a borderline. I don't think it's a job saver.
Now,
in my opinion.
I think they're prisoners of the moment. I think some of this was social media theater. But I've had a ton of Auburn fans tell me on social media. I've yet to have one say this in person, but I've had a lot on social media say they would have taken an NIT run that they had over having to play a play-in game or being one and done in the tournament.
There's no way.
Now, I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
They're lying to you.
They may be, Lance. Like I said, I do think some of it is social media theater, but all of it can't be. Jim, for Alabama or any team, you're a fan of a team. I hate the play-in game, but would you rather win the NIT or be in a play-in game?
Historically speaking, I will be judged by, I've gone to the NCAA tournament 6 years in a row.
That's right. So
I'd
rather
rather
do
be
that.
in the NCAA tournament.
I had to. No matter what my outcome is, I don't care if I win the NIT. I'd rather be in the NCAA tournament. Now, the way you set this story up was Auburn may be the last NIT champion ever. This is gobbling up some of the NIT. Not all of it now, because that was a crappy NIT field.
Yeah, but I don't know how we still play the NIT, and the Crown is doing it for money. It's though I know that we're still waiting on checks for all the teams that played in the Players Era tournament in Las Vegas. And now this $500,000 NIL to, I assume, all to West Virginia, cash those checks as soon as you get it in your hand to make sure you're getting that money. I don't understand the reason we don't talk about the NIT on the show, or at least as much as we probably should, is because we don't think it should exist. And
about to get our hope.
We probably should.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about it. It's a terrible
team
tournament.
won it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It was a local team trying to do what they were trying to do, whatever it was. I'm just saying if we go to 76 teams, the NIT really needs to go away.
But really, the only change in this year's NIT from the teams I named, if you just go by the next ones in KenPom, is you kick Auburn out.
Yeah,
they would have been in the tournament. So now
that's
you've
a testament to when the NIT is. But what about all the Crown teams? All the Crown teams would have.
Well, I said Oklahoma. I said West Virginia. I can't remember who else was in the Crown. I knew those
San
two.
Diego State was there.
Okay.
Creighton was there.
Well, they were. I didn't have them on the KenPom.
Yeah.
And their coaches.
Colorado was there.
I didn't have them on the KenPom.
I can't believe I got that many Crown teams.
I really can't
correct.
either. But your NIT would have been Tulsa, Cal, Wake, Dayton, UC Irvine, Oak State, Illinois State, New Mexico, Seattle, Utah Valley, and whoever replaced Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know that it is going to die. It's whatever. I mean, it's the same exact tournament you had this year, except Auburn, who ended up winning it. So
I just don't know how they make any money. It's almost like the WNBA. Like I don't. These salaries are going up.
No, it's the same exact thing. The WNBA has been subsidized by the NBA for a long time. The NCAA owns and subsidizes the NIT.
Yeah, but it's not a good business model.
Oh, it's not a great business model, but they wouldn't do it if they didn't make money. I'm sure ESPN pays something for those games. I think participating teams only get $5,000 a game to play in that.
That'll be interesting to see in the future TV products if Paramount, CBS, TBS, that conglomerate, TBS and CBS are about to become the same thing, Turner and CBS in the sports world. If that still falls under the expanding NCAA tournament rights, or if they sell the 24-team 12 games Tuesday, Wednesday as a separate package, if ESPN can buy into
that's
that.
Right, yeah.
That'll be interesting to see, because that's the talk about expanding college football, is to give it to multiple media partners. All right, keep an eye on that whenever it breaks. Pete Thamel, Ross Dellinger, wherever you get your breaking news, Brett McMurphy, that'll come your way soon, I believe, the expansion of the NCAA tournament, maybe as early as this upcoming year, if the TV partners can get it all worked out with the NCAA. All right, when we come back, a couple of Masters and baseball notes and trash on the other side. Show today being brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken. Swing by and see Sterling right now. Boy, are you hungry? 33 minutes into the lunch hour. Are you hungry right now? Look at that screen right there. Just pick anything. It's all going to be good. Top left, you get a good sampler of everything. Got the chicken tenders that are hand cut with the in-house made honey mustard. You got the brined overnight cooked to order. Chicken juicy down to the bone. Great cocktails too. It's all right there at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
This spring, make it a week the whole family will remember. The Regions Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, returns to Greystone for championship golf and family fun. Watch legendary players compete, enjoy activities for all ages, and experience the excitement on and off the course. Don't forget to stop by Hole 10 following play on Saturday for a live concert featuring Blues Traveler. This is a week you don't want to miss. April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at
friends at Bud Light, man, so thankful for them, their partnership with us over the years. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. They're about to bring us trash in a moment. You know where I enjoy my favorite Bud Lights?
Your favorite Bud Light is on a golf course.
That's my second favorite Bud Light.
Your favorite Bud Light is?
In April, watching people at Talladega.
Oh, heck
I
yeah.
enjoyed that last spring, just popping a nice cold Bud Light, walking around the infield, just looking at people. If you want to experience that, you can do that at Talladega coming up. NASCAR racing is coming back. Jack Link's 500 weekend is April 24th through the 26th. The big cup race is coming up on Sunday, April 26th. Buy your tickets right now. 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Just go to the website. Get all the information. Easy click to buy your tickets. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. You will be representing whatever state you're listening to us in or watching us in. You'll be representing your state. All 50 states will be there represented in the fans. They come from everywhere and other countries too. Jack Link's 500 weekend. Not too far away. April 26th at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. In the middle of our last conversation about expanding the NCAA tournament, one of the guys who I thought in the NIT really made a case for being kept at Auburn, that Auburn fans would be excited about another year. They may be, just because you're in the portal doesn't mean you leave. Sometimes you can get bought back out of the portal. But Filip Jovic, I'm not going to hate if he leaves because I struggle with his name. But he's hit the portal. I really like this guy's game.
Well, and you heard Steven reference, hey, look, I want him to go back to playing more traditional four. He played out of position just based on some of our needs this year, but I think he sees a lot of upside, and he was a guy that off the bench did a lot of different things for Auburn, and I think he would just progressively get better, but, this could be another one of those moves, again, we talked about with Aiden Sherrell. He's just getting a little leverage by going in the portal.
Yeah, just because they're in the portal doesn't mean they're going. They can always come back out of the portal and stay where they are.
I mean, it's almost like you guys have heard it before. If you're happy where you are, but if somebody calls, you always listen to the offer, right?
You go clap your hands. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look.
And going in the portal is kind of listening to offers.
We're not alone in this, but the two biggest contract bumps we ever got with Cumulus were when people tried to hire us away from Cumulus, right? Because all of a sudden, Cumulus Media, who owned WJOX, had to say, now, wait a minute. You guys don't want to leave. Why are you leaving? And we're like, well, we'd like some more money. We got more money, right? I mean, that's the way this goes. People do this all the time. But he may also leave. You don't know, Jim. But this was one guy, I think, when we all did our guys Auburn wants back on this roster yesterday, we all had this guy.
Yeah, I like the way he plays.
Nobody left him off.
Plays big. So Aiden Sherrell and Filip Jovic.
Big Phil.
Yeah.
I always see Flip. When I read his first name, I always want to call him Flip.
Yeah. Portal's open. Everybody's there. Aberdeen from Kentucky. DJ Wagner from Arkansas. Diabate's back. Cade Phillips. Jasper Johnson. Hanlotton from Florida.
I'm gonna
name them, they're in the portal.
Yeah, and I'm going to be fascinated to see what Mike Malone at North Carolina now is going to be able to do in this portal.
What an out-of-nowhere hire.
Out of nowhere. And then Brooks.
I never heard his name one time.
I was walking down the hall. We just got doing the next reel, and Brooks was like, hey, that was the guy I said. And I'm like, you didn't say Mike Malone. He was like, well, you were out. And I was like, I guess so, because that is a name that I never, how that thing popped up.
Yeah. You've got a little Dunaway in you, Brooks. I'm not sure I ever heard you say that either.
When did you say it, Brooks?
Feel free to take the victory lap.
Here, I will vouch for Brooks. Brooks definitely said Mike Malone.
Okay.
We definitely weren't listening.
How many had to turn the job down to
I don't
get
know.
to Mike Malone?
I don't know, but the fact that he just said Mike Malone, I don't care how many
you know
turned
what
it
the
down.
tie is?
Yeah, I thought
because
that was out of nowhere, too.
North Carolina, much like Alabama football used to in the day, go inside of the family.
That's
and they
right.
were wondering whether or not they're going to go out. Well, you know what the connection is? His daughter played volleyball at North Carolina.
Look, I don't care if his daughter's school president.
She is playing volleyball now, which means he's been on campus. He's actually gone to 5 practices this year, talked to the players at those practices. And according to the guys at Field of 68, the focus was on Lloyd and Dusty.
And it didn't work.
And so when they started looking at the other guys, the guy from Vandy, McCollum, those guys had $10 million, $11 million buyouts. Nate Oates, $11 million buyouts. Michael Malone,
0.
No buyout, 0.
It was one of the strangest.
Even Billy Donovan was going to be a buyout situation.
It was one of the strangest firings in sports history. I mean, this was a guy that was super successful with the Nuggets, And just it seemed like it was like out of the blue he got fired. Weren't they leading the Western Conference today? He got fired?
He won a championship.
Well, I know, but I think they were in the lead in the West or like second place in the Western Conference.
It was one of the strangest firings of all time. He's kind of been lying in the weeds. Look, the guy knows X's and O's.
I assumed he got fired because the big guy didn't like him.
Well, I mean, if you would have told me that a guy that was affiliated with the NBA was going to be coaching this team or this program, you would have said Billy Donovan.
In a heartbeat, yeah.
Apparently, Donovan didn't want to talk to him until after the NBA season's over with, which is this week.
Yeah,
Sunday,
it's on Sunday, and they're not going to make the playoffs, obviously, but you also can't assume that then Monday he was just going to take the job. I mean, he was still going to take some time to think about it. So now you're middle April before you've hired a guy.
And by the way, Billy Donovan used the leverage to clear out the entire front office where I think he's about to take over a little rep handling the organization, Billy Donovan there in Chicago. All right, let's see. Cleveland in baseball, Jose Ramirez played his 1,620th game yesterday, becoming the most games played in Cleveland history, passing Terry Turner back in 04 through 18. Not 2004 through 2018, 1904 to 1918. So good for Jose Ramirez. Dodgers, Blue Jays tonight on TBS if you want to watch a little baseball. And then there's the Masters, where this is Tuesday. Champions Dinner tonight?
Yeah, Champions Dinner tonight and then par 3 tomorrow.
Rory McIlroy's menu. All about this. Start off with a little peach ricotta flatbread, balsamic hot honey basil. Bacon wrapped dates with goat cheese and almonds. Delicious.
Yeah, did we? I guess Dunaway was out. We did this, right?
Yeah.
Because we talked about how amazing the menu was.
Yeah, just this whole thing. The grilled elk sliders, the rock shrimp tempura. You get through everything. Dessert, sticky toffee pudding, which I absolutely love. Did you talk about the cost of the dish?
Oh, we did not. No. So this is, if I ordered this in a 5-star restaurant, it would cost me what?
A lot.
Yeah. The bacon wrapped dates would be $30 to $40 on a menu.
Okay.
The grilled elk sliders would be $55 to $65 on a menu. Rock shrimp tempura $40 to $50. The peach ricotta flatbread $20 to $30.
So I'm at $150 to $200 on my appetizers.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a fillet, the Wagyu fillet, $200.
Okay.
The sticky
$400.
toffee pudding, $25. They say the whole menu, rough estimate for that meal, is going to be north of $415. Sounds worth it, though.
Yeah, and that's for one person, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
How many, just, out of former Masters champions get to sit down at this dinner?
All of them that are alive.
No, I know that, but I mean, do you get a +1? Are there other people?
No. It's only the Masters champions and the current chairman.
Okay.
That's all that is there.
Yeah, there's no wives.
Okay. No wives, no caddies, no friends, no nothing. It is only if you've won the Masters or if you're the current current club chairman.
It's going to be we've already packaged up Tigers here. If you'd like to check this to
Tiger will not be there.
Is it?
And I guess Phil neither.
Is it one of those deep 3-hour dinners? You know anything about it?
I know a good bit about it. I think the wine flows and it goes. I think
storytelling.
Storytelling.
Any speeches? Any?
Yeah, well, I do think the.
First of all, Rory, thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, everybody, Roy, we finally won one here.
Yeah, this is what it looks like inside the Champions Dinner, Rory.
I think Rory gets to give a speech. I'm sure the chairman does as well, and some of the old heads too. But a lot of the old heads aren't playing in the event, so they'll probably hang and suck the wine down and talk for a little
That's
while.
why it's on Tuesday. You got Wednesday to dry up.
That's right. You got Wednesday to recover and play in the par 3, and then the tournament starts Thursday.
Yeah. All right. So that's the Masters. With all that happening this week. Look forward to that. And before we get to the trash,
Tigers to Go Box is cracking up the chat room.
Yeah.
Just thinking about him sitting at a Go Box to Tiger.
He wouldn't Uber eat it because there's no confidentiality there. Right?
Terrible.
I could see him sitting there playing video games, eating it.
Roy, these elk sliders are terrific, man. I had to pop them in the microwave.
Managing that pain.
There's a Scott showing you a photo, Lance. That's what it looks like. So I mean, a little bit stuffy looking, but I think they have a good time.
Texas A&M played college baseball this weekend, leading into the Morgan Wallen concert. Different things, but getting to ticket prices. And the baseball, just getting in for a regular season baseball series, Texas A&M, sitting on a hill down the right field line. That hill down there is $100 basically to get in.
So I sit
Look
on
at
grass.
these prices: $406, $525, $553 behind the plate, $179 down the line in picnic tables. That's for a regular season SEC baseball series that both these teams will be in the tournament.
Refresh my memory.
The guy left Texas
The
A&M.
old boy left Texas A&M for Texas.
Yep.
This is their first series?
No, they played last year.
Last year. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now the Morgan Wallen LT says, I thought you'd be going. Well, if I had all the money in the world, Bryant-Denny Stadium, but I'm not going to go to a venue where I think it's the last seat in the upper deck is $179 right now.
Yeah, but what is a round of golf typically?
Less than that.
Yeah, it's about $80, $90.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're playing four or five times a week.
Yeah, but I mean, last seat in the upper deck to see Morgan Wallen?
I'm going to be looking at a big screen, listening to him. I listen to him every day.
Yeah.
Give me some of the prices, Forrester. What do we have, man?
So if we go down here to the bottom of the screen, which is actually kind of behind the stage, $215
behind the stage.
And I'm backstage, basically.
Yeah, in the upper deck behind the stage, $215.
No, thank you.
No, that doesn't sound great.
Nope. Get me to where possibly Morgan Wallen could sweat on me.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you, where is Morgan Wallen in your favorite artist right now?
He's top five. Top five.
Oh, you got to pay.
It might happen if you go to like a rooftop bar after the show.
That's true. Him sweating on you?
Yeah.
I mean, give me, put me in the pit. One of those first two pits close to the stage.
Yeah, down here in the pit, we're at a little over 1,000 each.
Okay.
You can go right behind the pit. They're even more.
I get a chair at that point, probably.
Yes, section 3 here, $1,500 a piece.
Yeah, those are incredible tickets.
Yeah,
so
I would hope so.
Yeah, but I think in the
give me the orange.
Yeah, the orange.
Let's go 50-yard line football seat is
$500 right here in section H.
That's a head. That's a head.
But you've paid that for Taylor Swift.
2 for my daughter, and I told him she was like row 3 or 4 at Nissan Historic Tour, and row 3 or 4 on the 50-yard line of the football, and I think I got them for ended up being like $400, $375 a piece, thanks to our friends at ATIX.
Do you want to go?
Not really.
Okay. I won't say what I was going to say then.
No, not really.
All right. I had you. I think I might have had you in the stadium. If you
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Don't say I didn't offer.
I love his music. I just don't think I want to see him in concert, because Taylor Swift puts on a show. I mean, it's a show.
I mean, I would assume he does.
I don't
if he's
know.
doing stadiums now.
I think he does a lot of this. I think he does a lot of
what?
Like a lot of.
You think you got a coach for stage presence?
Yeah. Pretend Lance is a really good-looking co-ed. What's he do?
He doesn't have to do. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to do anything at all.
Yeah.
I mean, what can he do? I mean, George Strait stands there.
I've seen George Strait, and my wife called the guitar a prop.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll strum it every now and then. He primarily just holds the guitar and leans on top of it. But you know what George Strait does?
Stands there and sings.
He sings hit after hit after hit after hit.
Yeah.
Hey, who do you guys think he'll do his little walkout?
Got to be Nick Saban.
Oh, it's going to be Nick Saban.
I mean, poor Kalen DeBoer. I will ask Kalen. I mean, Kalen's on the show tomorrow. We'll ask him point blank, are you the walkout?
I think it'll be Nick Saban. I think Kristen will be there with Nick.
Would it be Nate Oates? If not Nick Saban, if Nick Saban tells him no today, who's the walkout?
I think Nick Saban's going to tell him no.
You do?
Well, yeah. I mean, unless Nick Saban's a fan, if he's a fan.
No, bigger celebrities than Saban have done it. I mean.
No, I'm not saying that, but they're probably fans.
They may be.
And if Nick Saban was still recruiting, he'd be the walkout.
I think it'll be Alabama flavored. So
yeah, I would say Kalen DeBoer.
I think it'll be Saban, Kristen. It wouldn't surprise me if Nate was there.
He's got multiple sometimes, doesn't he?
I don't know. I do enjoy the walkout.
What if it's Ty Simpson?
Could be Ty Simpson.
I mean, Nate's fiance is in that Morgan Wallen demographic.
Yeah, she's young.
I mean, isn't she?
Well,
she's 30, right?
I think his demographic is 14 to the grave.
Yeah, I think there's a lot in that demographic.
Very popular right now. Let's get to trash today, brought to you by our wonderful friends at Hoover Toyota. LT is going to be taking his brand new Hoover Toyota on an Uber ride soon.
Yes, it will be in the Uber universe sooner than later. But look, if you're in the market right now, you're looking for reliability, safety, something that's going to hold its value. That is the definition of Toyotas. Hoover Toyota, conveniently located Highway 150, new used Toyota dealer, serving Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia, over 20 years now. Their philosophy to give information to their customers. They've got that red carpet program. It gives you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience. Their inventory offers a fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department provides affordable financing options. Got my daughter's car in 24, just got mine a couple of months ago. Ex-wife got hers a couple of months ago. View their inventory and great pricing, hoovertoyota.com, or stop in, see Scott, Harold, Kim, Highway 150. Tell them the guys from the next round sent you.
Well, listen, we've got to do this. Let me hear you all say, E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We start first. A handbag scientist claim is made from T-Rex leather is set to be auctioned off to the highest bidder with a starting bid of $660,000. Now, the project was announced in 2025 by a group of companies aiming to create a, quote, cruelty-free, eco-friendly alternative to traditional leather using reconstructed dinosaur protein.
Okay.
According to the press release, fragments of the T-Rex collagen recovered from fossils used to help engineer the material, which was then grown in a lab without using animal hides. Now, the one-off bag was designed by techwear label Infin Leve with lead designer Michael Haddis, saying the material has a distinct character and responds like any leather they've worked with.
We're going to F around one day and find out. We're going to end up accidentally reproducing a woolly mammoth or a dinosaur, and we're not going to be happy about it.
I told you they're trying to reproduce the woolly mammoth already. I heard the podcast with Rogan.
There's a movie about it. You should watch it.
Are you guys able to look at a pair of boots and be like, those are ostrich? Or
Sometimes, depends on the actual, I mean, there's a few.
T-Rex would be kind of cool.
Yeah, T-Rex I wouldn't be able to spot. Oh, that was a dead
Probably
hit.
pretty expensive.
You think?
$660,000.
Being that the T-Rex ain't with us anymore. Yeah. they aren't exactly making new ones.
Yeah.
So we've got a sperm racing World Cup. Did we talk about this last year? Maybe.
Yep, we talked about it last year when they just announced the idea.
Yeah. Oh, so we had not played one yet.
The Sperm Racing World Cup is going to take place at the end of 2026, and the competition is now accepting applications to enter, with competitors vying for a $100,000 grand prize. Now,
sadly, that's not one bracket of mine that's expanding.
Are you a play-in game now?
Yeah. Mine is in Dayton for sure.
Young man's game.
I'm a 16 versus 1.
Sperm Racing rose.
Some of us are close to the NIT right now.
Yeah, prominence in 2025 when its first full event in Los Angeles saw two students compete to see who had the fastest swimmers. Winner of that competition received a prize of $10,000.
Sadly, I play online only now.
Hey, can we give Tyler some props
What did he say?
For this picture?
Oh, no, that is a great AI
It's incredible.
photo. Yeah, it's a great AI photo.
Yeah. So you actually did this? Or you didn't find it online? You created this?
Yeah.
Very good.
I was looking for some funny ones. Couldn't find quite what I was looking for. Needed something more dramatic.
Yeah, I like it.
I had to ask the robot for
Well, the competition has gone global. They have announced that the 2026 event will have 128 countries competing for the grand prize of $100,000.
Yeah. I mean, that is one thing where I hope everybody stays in their lane, but it doesn't look like everybody is.
Yeah, I don't. Does it say how they do the measurables here?
It does.
Something called sperm motility.
Okay, here we go. To be eligible to compete, you have to be at least 18, probably good. Free from STDs, probably good. Able to provide biological samples in compliance with competition regulations, and be able to appear in recorded content and competition coverage.
To Jim's point, it does look like the United States sperm is committing a lane violation right now.
Not as bad as some of the others. I mean, there's 3 or 4 in the lane. At least the Americans and the Brazil have a clean shot at the trophy.
That's true.
Yeah.
A woman from Minnesota has been found guilty.
Who's doing the play-by-play of this? Joe Tessitore?
Marv Albert.
This is one of the biggest moments ever.
So, a woman from Minnesota has been found guilty on 3 criminal charges after tossing a tarantula towards an Airbnb guest. Marissa Simonetti, 32 years old.
As far as mugshots go, sneaky hot.
Yeah, that's a good mugshot. I'll go and tell her.
She is a current U.S. Senate candidate from Minnesota.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Rented out a basement unit to a woman studying for the bar exam in June of 2024. The guest, Jacqueline Vasquez, reportedly suggested hiring pest control after finding what she described as, quote, large spiders in the property. Now, according to this story, tensions quickly escalated after that conversation, with Simonetti intercepting the guest's grocery delivery and refusing to hand it over. Following day, she allegedly shut off the internet and began banging pots and pans while the guest attempted to study. Vasquez later called 911, reporting that Simonetti had removed the door leading to the basement and alongside another man entered the unit. She hid in her room and recorded the incident on her laptop. Per this report, Simonetti could be heard referencing Jesus and a, quote, tarantula that I just bought in audio captured during the incident.
Scott is right in the chat. This is not sneaky hot. This is psycho hot.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Well, you can see the eyes.
Yeah.
Now, footage showed her throwing the tarantula down the stairs and spraying an unknown substance while also saying, quote, this is why you never F with Marissa Simonetti.
That's right. It's a good warning.
Yeah, that's her campaign slogan, too. Never F with Marissa Simonetti.
Remember to vote November 5th.
Hey, you want to see how crazy she is? Simonetti represented herself at the trial, argued the guest was a squatter, and claimed she acted in self-defense.
Yeah. Good layout.
Absolutely nuts.
Good producing, by the way. The story is Simonetti after the Seminati that went on for the World Cup. Very well produced there. Seminati to Simonetti.
Got it.
And finally, a 90-year-old grandmother has broken the Guinness World Record for the oldest person to hold a dead hang. Now, Ann Estelin from Ohio.
Sadly, at her
very close.
Sadly, at her age, I was happy when her foot moved to start with originally.
I think it was a frozen picture that the clock
Thought it
started.
was going to be a different dead
Hey,
hang.
look at the VHS collection up behind her.
I mean, if you start the video over, I mean, the dead hang.
Look at her.
At her age, when you first said that, I was like, oh, thank God the foot's moving.
Yeah.
Move, please move, please. Oh,
okay,
thank God.
She's alive.
All right,
Thank God.
this is ridiculous. Now, she was challenged by her son Rip to hang from the pull-up bar for as long as she could. Estelin, who runs, lifts weights, and cycles on a daily basis, was able to hang for 1 minute and 15 seconds without much training. How long do you guys think you could hang?
Probably not as long as she does.
I don't know. How long she hang? 25 seconds?
No, 1 minute, 15 seconds.
Okay.
I bet I could do a minute 15.
Now, impressed with the initial effort, Rip decided to do some research, discovered the record holder was an 81-year-old who held the dead hang for 2 minutes and 1 second. Rip called his mother, convinced her to attempt the record. 90-year-old Estelin did break the record holding her body weight. Actually, she went 2 minutes and 52 seconds.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
Could not do that.
I'd be really curious all of a sudden why my son or son-in-law is asking me to do this.
Have we updated
Very
the will?
straight. Is that the son? That's not the husband, right?
Yeah, no, it's son or son-in-law at her age. I mean, she's in pretty good shape. Relatively
Well, I mean,
speaking.
she cycles, she lifts, she runs.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Now, if she popped a pull-up real quick, that'd be even more impressive.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah, I'd be out at that point. I don't think I'd pull me up. Really good. That's good.
all I got.
That's Trash Today, brought to you by our wonderful friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Don't forget, later today or early tomorrow, a new Next Reels is out. New OG Kickoff, new Last Call, all on the platforms. How do you get all the content? It's really easy. It's on the same place we are, audio and video, but also set your alerts. Easiest thing to do. Subscribe to us, no cost. Set your alerts, no cost at all. We appreciate you being part of the show. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time live or anytime at your convenience on audio and video replay. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.